Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, episode 121 at the home studio. Here, Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
And we got Lorenzo.
Yes, we do.
And we have a special guest we're going to introduce here in a second.
Yeah, absolutely, we do.
So here we are. Hopefully you got all your shirts mailed out, all the patrons. You got your shirt. If you didn't, call Johnny at Dirtbag Clothing, 1-800-DIRTBAG. No, maybe don't call that number. That might be something else.
No, just email Dirtbag John. I'll put his email address in the show notes. But yeah, they all went out, and I know we've heard from a few of our patrons that they've received their new wardrobe, and if they were at the top tier old elk level, they also got their special swag.
Yeah, a little special old elk swag there. So people started posting it on the old IG there. I've seen it. So they're out in the wild now.
Yep.
Finally made it. Thank you, Johnny, once again for
absolutely
the 100th episode.
He's not drinking anymore.
20 episodes later. It was actually like 18, 19 later that he shipped them out. So.
It's back in April.
But it was free, so you can't
now.
you can't make any complaints about that.
Complain.
You know.
So
yeah. You got any other updates or anything that we need to talk about real quick?
The Rubicon Trail is officially closed, as is Barrett Lake.
Barrett Lake and Fordyce.
Because all the forests around El Dorado National Forest have also been closed. So Tahoe National Forest, yep. I'm not going to get into the whole list of it, but yeah.
It's it's very scary. And I don't know if they got any containment yet or not. It's just, this thing's just been moving.
Last time I looked, it was 0% containment. Jesus. And it was moving towards Silver Fork, which is an area that you and I we did the turkey shoot last year. So that, and I know a lot of listeners do the snow wheeling on the Mormon Emigrant Trail. That trail is going to look a lot different this winter, folks.
Oh my God.
The pavement's probably going to still be there, but there ain't going to be no trees.
No.
There'll be sticks.
How are all those Toyotas going to get unstuck? They have no trees to winch to.
I know, right? They might. I don't know. They might have to pull off of a Jeep or something.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We're laughing, but it's a tragic situation. They still don't know how the fire started. It's growing. It's being blown to the east right now, and I've been hearing even the Tahoe forest management is shut down. So I think most of the campgrounds around Lake Tahoe are closed, and definitely no campfires. If you people are camping in any forests that are still open and you have a campfire, you're a fucking idiot.
There's Chris with his rant of the day. Nicely done, Chris.
That's all I'm saying.
No, it's true. It's true. It's just literally a tinderbox out there right now. So I'm afraid just to turn on my gas fire pit in my patio in the backyard.
You should be.
So, all right. You got anything else down there? Before
I think I've blown my wad on that right now.
Yeah, that was nicely done.
Try.
Yeah, that's good. So
let's move on to more positive stuff.
Yeah, this is our special guest here in studio.
Woohoo!
We met this gentleman a couple years ago at a what was that? It was some charity deal, Christmas charity fundraiser, something.
Oh, up in
SFO.
Yeah,
Christmas charity.
Yeah.
Yep.
So owner of Sycan Media and founder of Brotherhood of Brew.
Ooh.
And is one of the hosts there on 0 to 60 podcast by Rogue Element.
That's right.
So very familiar with the microphone and video. We don't do video though. For
videographer.
Is this thing on?
Yeah, it's exactly.
Hold on, let me turn that
off. So, hunter and car salesman. I won't say the used car salesman. So, Jeff Coxen, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks
welcome to Wheeling
guys.
Wine and Whiskey. So, this is cool. We've been talking about doing this for a while, and it's come to fruition now. So, welcome to the home studio, and you get to see where Lorenzo hangs out, and
it's funny that
the pond that he bathes in and stuff like that. So,
when I first met you guys and I started listening to your podcast, I fucking thought Lorenzo was like a golden retriever.
Well, we could dress him up as
dog,
one.
and I was just like, keep talking about it like the. You were talking about it in third person, kind
Yes.
of, but it was like to the point I was like, is I thought there was just a dog in something, because he's like, yeah, he brings me over this, or
Yeah.
so he's talking shit, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of how I talk to my dog. I was like, and then I saw the first picture, it was a fucking little donkey, and I'm like, son of a bitch.
There it is. There it is. Oh, people thought he was a real person and everything. It's been absolutely comical. And then with Jimmy from Snail Trail there, taking him for a while.
Stealing them.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So that's good. The Lorenzo Freed IG page still lives on. So
Still lives on. I don't think there's many updates on it lately.
Yeah.
but
No, I was gonna say I haven't seen anything for a while.
I got to say, I was nervous bringing him up to Meadow Lake, and Jimmy wasn't up there the first week, but he was up there the second week, and my camper was up there with Lorenzo in it, with people knowing my combination of my camper, and
Right.
I thought for sure he was going to be gone again, but no, he stayed.
Well,
evaded.
surprisingly,
Yeah.
he didn't drink everything.
No,
either.
no, he didn't. He didn't. He's been very good, very good. He learned his lesson. He saw what the outside world's really like.
Down in Belize.
So, all right. So Jeff, let's get into it, man. Let's talk about your operation, your multimedia guy,
New rap
and-
career.
Yeah. Rogue Element Rapping Incorporated.
Yeah.
So just give us a little background of how you got involved with all the media stuff. I know you do. You got the Rogue Element ties in a lot of the hunting aspect, the off-roading aspect, camping, overlanding ish. I will say we'll get into that in a minute. But lay it out there. What do you got?
Well, shit. It's a lot. When we started Rogue Element, and 2015, 16, I think is when it first launched.
Okay.
And I used to do a hunting show. That's kind of how I got my chops in video. And because it's a pay-to-play industry, and a lot of people don't know that. So like when you're watching Sportsman's Channel or, Outdoor Channel, 95% of the shows that are on there have to write a check to that network for them to show it.
Wow.
And the way they the way they get that money is through sponsorship. So they create their own commercials. So all but a few commercials that you see on there are from them and their sponsors. They'll sprinkle a few in that's from the network, so they're getting paid again. But like our show, I'm not going to name the name because I'm not going to give them that free sponsorship.
Yeah.
There's bad blood there now, but which is funny. I gave them a $95,000 business and they shit on it.
Wow.
So I was like, okay.
Wow.
So we spent thousands and thousands. I mean, I'm talking a lot of money in 3 years. We created one season, which was 7 episodes that were roughly half an hour long or hour long. I think it was an hour long.
Okay.
Maybe it was a half an hour. I don't remember. Anyways, we had to write thousands of dollars to have them shared. And we went with NBC Sports. We did a bunch of regional Comcast Sportsnet.
Okay.
And then we did a little bit with a couple other bigger networks. And it got to a spot where I was like, I am tired of hemorrhaging money. I was living in Los Angeles at the time, where all my buddies were living in Oregon and Washington, and they were out hunting and having fun all the time. And it was a 14 fucking hour drive for me to join them. And I could fly, but then I can't bring my meat back. It was just like, and at the time I was driving I had a 2011 Wrangler lifted that got, if I was lucky, 13 miles to the gallon, rip supercharged.
Wow.
Wow. And with the gears I was running on 35s, I just got shit gas mileage trying to haul ass and make it, right? And I started having creative differences with the rest of the guys. They were more like good old boys. We only want to do hunting and fishing. And I'm like, listen, if we are going to start making real money with this to where we're not like in the red, we need to start incorporating more adventure, maybe some overlanding. Maybe, overlanding was just getting taken off as the technical term, overlanding. I was like, well, and we all had built rigs. There's 2 Wranglers, a TJ and my JK, and we had a guy with a Tacoma 4-door that was built, and that we teamed up with 4 Wheel Parts. They sponsored us. We built his truck, and then we got kind of shafted. There was some management change, and we were left at the wayside. There was like $50,000 worth of parts still not put on our rig. So we were like, well, I guess that's not going. And and I had a really good relationship with him. Back to the car business thing. I was a general manager at a Jeep store in LA. And we were doing like 6 Wrangler builds a month with DSI, which is 4 Wheel Parts dealership program.
Okay.
So they come in and take a brand new Wrangler. They put lifts, wheels, tires, racks, lights, everything on it. And then they put a 5-year, 60,000 mile warranty on it.
Wow.
And then in a lot of cases, the manufacturer will they'll honor it through their own warranty.
Okay.
And then what happens is the dealership doesn't write a check up front. They float that money for like 60 to 90 days. So when you sell the truck, you write the check to DSI / 4 Wheel Parts.
Okay.
And then you're good.
Right.
And you make a profit on both the vehicle and the parts.
Sure.
Right. And we were doing, like I said, like close to between 4 and 6 Wranglers a week.
Wow.
So people are buying these turnkey Wranglers, basically.
Oh yeah. And about 9 out of 10 will never hit dirt.
Right.
Like
I mean,
35s, 37s.
We do 37s.
Oh, wow.
And respline them and do
It's all
everything.
mall crawlers down there in L.A.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Oil
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Mall crawlers.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
I remember seeing at the local Jeep dealer near where I live, they had a lift. It was all bolt-on stuff. It was crazy, and
Yeah.
I forget what it was. But I went in. I was getting an oil change for my big truck, and I was standing around the showroom, and I'm like, "Holy crap! They wanted $75,000 for this Wrangler."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You better have a V8." And it didn't even have a V8.
no, and the cool thing is like the banks that we dealt with, if we went through DSI, they would honor a lot of the parts and up to value. So, as long as you do that right, same with AEV, like our sister dealership, which was in Glendale, they had AEV there. We didn't, but they would have like Prospectors and Brutes with V8s in them and all those things. And they were selling them like hotcakes, but we would smoke them through DSI.
Right.
Like for every like one AEV, I was doing like 12 DSI stuff, and I had a really good relationship. I mean, I was like either Glen Helen or, down in Temecula, watching trophy trucks all the time, because I was in that like one group. They're like, okay, you're coming with us, you get an invite, you're going to this race, you're going to this. I mean, they're like giving you free shit all the time. And I have like, I think 3 trophy truck Greg Adler RC cars that they just gave to me, because I was I think I was within the top 5 all times in the country.
Wow.
For doing, for building those. And it wasn't like one of those things where I was like, well, I want to do this to earn it. It was like, we had so many customers coming in asking, build me a Wrangler like yours, because I parked mine right next to the office. So people would drive by and see my Wrangler and they're like, oh, holy shit, is that for sale? They come in, is that for sale? I was like, no.
So
it's not for sale.
mine.
So did you go wheeling down there?
I wish I did more.
Okay.
I worked so much.
Yeah.
When you're, that's the reason I'm not in the car business anymore.
Yeah.
I got out in 2015. I would drop my daughter off at the time. I only had one kid at the time. I would drop my daughter off at like 7:30 in the morning at daycare. She was I'm maybe not even 2 years old at the time. I would go to work. I'd work until 5 o'clock. I'd race to get her at daycare, come back to the dealership. She'd be on my lap while I'm like doing deals and stuff.
Finalizing.
And my wife just got in. She was a new, first year as being an attorney. And she was driving an hour and a half one way into LA from Granada Hills, which is up in the valley.
Wow.
And so she couldn't ever get my kid on, I'd have to do that. I had to do drop off and that. And we got to a point where we're like, well, if I stop working, we lose a lot of money, a lot, but our quality of life exponentially goes up because I work every weekend.
Sure.
We're never seeing each other. And we're like, I think, if we're going to think about having a second kid, this won't work. And so we need to figure out an exit strategy. And that's when I started Sycan Media.
Okay.
So the first time. And so I was doing freelance stuff off the side anyways, because it was fun, but I never, I was also doing a hunting TV show at the same time as this.
Wow.
So I'm leaving like 2 weeks a year to go elk hunting and film. And then I'm leaving like every once in a while, I'll get like 3 days off. I'll beg for it from the owner and say, hey, I need to get these. I got to go film. And he was kind of cool with it at the time. He ended up turning out to be a real dick, but, which most car dealership owners are just douchebags.
Right.
But so I was doing all that. And then I asked my wife, I was like, give me 3 months to start this business. And I started getting like a lot of like photo stuff in and design work for logos, which I'm not excellent at, but I can do it. And it was all, referrals, and it just wasn't paying for shit. I was failing at it, and I wasn't really good at social media yet. The only thing I ever put on there was to rant about shit and show, photos of my kids for all my family that never saw us. Right.
Right.
And because we're in LA at this time, and I have an aunt and uncle that lived in Fillmore, and she has an aunt and uncle that lived in Topanga, and that was it. We were by ourselves.
Wow.
And everyone else, all our family lives up in Oregon. And I've been building Sycan on the side instead of just stopping everything and going for nothing. And now I've got clients. I've shot some stuff with Travel Channel. I'm doing documentaries on the side. I gave away my hunting company and I started Rogue Element. And the reason I started it was because I had these sponsors that I didn't want to burn. And I called them all and emailed them and said, hey, listen, I'm leaving this other hunting thing. I can give you back the product you gave me and some, like, my portion of the money, because I don't want to screw you. I don't want a reputation in this industry or filming in general that I burnt a sponsor. Mm-hmm. And if, or you can stay with me and I'm going to make these films. They're going to be short films. We're going to go through film festival circuits, and we're going to, any money that we get, we're going to donate to like Corva or Backcountry Hunters and Anglers and all these other places that keep our public lands open.
Sure.
And they're going to be conservation-based films. And they said, okay, no, we're with you. You were we don't even know if we're going to stay with these other guys anymore because you're not with them. And I was like, fuck, I didn't want that to go that route, right? But I was the backbone of the company and, the executive producer and all this other shit. And, I don't even know if they're still around, but we made some cool shit together. But, I was like, that's why I'm doing Rogue Element. So we did that. We did hunting and fishing only, basically with adventure built into it and conservation. And we won 22 film festivals, and I think we ended up raising like $15,000. We donated all of it.
Cool.
And then we just stopped for a year and a half, almost 2 years. We were doing little shit here and there and not knowing what to do. We were focusing on Brotherhood of Brew. Mm-hmm. And right before the pandemic started, I told the guys, I was like, listen, man, we should be doing more. Let's Overland's huge. We know how to build rigs. We're all off-roaders, and I was like, I got my chops in rock crawling and racing. I did motocross up until I was in my 20s, and I was like, I kind of want to get back into that, but how do we do it? What are we going to do? And that's when we started, the pandemic hit, and we were already filming and putting we're putting an episode out here or there. And then when the pandemic hit, I was like, I'm stuck at home, and I have 11 terabytes of footage that I've never done anything with. So we dropped 37 episodes into 2020.
Wow.
And then almost all back footage, right? And then we just started filming hard. And that's when I think we're getting close to, we're at 80 now. I think we're at 80 episodes in now. And we're starting to finally gain traction. I think we're getting close to 200 subscribers every 14 days or something.
Oh, good.
And so it's not where I want to be. I think we're only at 4,000 subscribers. So our goal this year was to get to 15, which I think we're still pacing because we keep increasing 30-something% a month. My goal was 50,000. I was like, shit, we can get to 50,000. But then we took time off because we did our full production.
Sure.
So we shot in April. We shot our full production first episode of Rogue Element down in Williams, Arizona. And the basis around this full production show is it's an hour long. We're hoping a streaming network picks it up. We've done some talks with Netflix, with Amazon again, which I don't think I'll go back there. And then Motor Trend, some other places. It's full on motorsports, and kind of what we did, we noticed watching a lot of Motor Trend and watching a lot of YouTube is there's this missing faction in motorsports, mainly off-road, where there's a lot of YouTubers doing just, what do you call it? A first-hand filming, first-person filming, and we're
trail
just,
rides and stuff
with a GoPro, out and, arm's length, and no real full production. The only ones that are doing real full production are Expedition Overland, which we did an episode with them at Brotherhood of Brew. There's a couple here and there, but there's just so much unwatchable shit on YouTube that I was like, I'm going to spend the next 9 months trying to figure out what's missing. And I asked so many people, so many questions about what you would want to see. And I asked everyone from overlanders to rock crawlers to just, anybody that was into motorsports, racers, drift car guys. And it was there was nothing being told about the history of motorsports. There was no companies getting involved in telling their history. And there was no story attached to anything. Every episode was just a new episode. There was no storyline based into it.
No arcs.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, it literally everyone you watch builder shows. It's a different car every episode, and sometimes there'll be a 2 or 3 part series because the build's so long.
Right.
But I'm shooting a show like that right now. They take a fucking year to make. To make 13 episodes for people don't understand. Overhauling is probably the only one of the only few that it probably only takes 2 weeks to make because they make it happen so fast. But your traditional car to build it takes 6 months to a year and a half.
Sure.
And
doesn't happen instantly.
it's fucking tough. And being like a guy that's like, I need to get a pilot episode made right now. I'm 2 months into the show that we're filming and we're nowhere fucking near it, right? So yeah, that's when I came up with Rogue Element. So basically what Rogue Element in a nutshell is we travel to a company, which the first one was KC Lights, which has been around 51 years.
Right.
When you think lights, you think smiley face, right?
Yeah.
The KC Daylighters.
Oh, KC Daylighters.
Yeah. And then, so we got to tell their 51-year history, which is pretty crazy, and how it was built and women ran it. At first, it was almost all women.
Women owned, right?
It was partially women.
Yeah, the beginning.
Husband and wife.
Yeah.
And, they built it, expanded it, and it is where it is today. And we tied the overlanding into it. We didn't get to do as much overlanding as we wanted to because of the time constraint, and there's really not a lot to do around Williams. It's a lot of just gravel roads, right? There's no rock crawling and stuff. You got to go an hour away. Kingsman, I think, is the closest, or Flagstaff, Sedona, and we just didn't have the time frame to do it. And so we did that, and then we jetted up to LS Fest West in Vegas and learned how to drive trophy trucks and pre-runners with Terra Crew and Dirt Design.
Very cool.
That was a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Being in 600 to 800 horsepower trophy trucks and cruising around that field, and it was the first time I've jumped in a trophy truck. I've been on dunes and whoops and stuff with them, but I've never launched.
Okay.
And having those things launch, it was so incredible how soft the suspension was. Like, I was like, did we land? And I'm like, holy shit. And he's hitting third going into a corner. And I'm like, oh shit. And I almost bit my tongue off.
Oh my God.
Like how I pulled it in as fast as I did, I don't know it, but I had my hand up, like waving to people right when we're getting ready to hit the whoops. And I wasn't strapped in strong enough. Dude, I was like, those little toys where you just shake them and the jaw just does that. Oh, dude. I was like, oh shit. All I remember, like, you'll see the video. You see me doing like this and my tongue sticking out. And then all of a sudden I pull it in and like my eyes you can't see my eyes because my sunglasses are on, but I'm like, my face is straight. My lips are closed and I'm holding on here. And then every time we come around to the whoops, I yank down and I just hold on.
Yeah.
And I'm pressing my head back as far back as I can go.
Tighten the
and there's
seat.
Nothing for me to grab onto. And you don't, I already knew just by rule of thumb of rock crawling, you don't grab onto outside roll bars.
No.
Or it's goodbye, right?
No.
But there's nothing on the inside. And his oh shit handle, he took it away because he thinks it's unfair. Darren Parsons was the driver, and he's the fucking raddest guy. And he's like, his reputation is just all out. I mean, this guy, the previous year at LS Fest, he rolled and his truck caught on fire. And so everyone's like, yeah, I don't ride with Darren. And I'm like, I'm riding fucking Darren.
I want to ride with Darren.
And we went with the Eisenhower brothers, and Christian went with Nick Eisenhower and his 6100 truck. You want to talk about the most unique sound of a V8 I've ever heard? Dude, it sounds like a wrapped the fuck out V10.
Really?
It is so high pitched.
Flat plane, probably.
His brother too. Both of them. Like, he has that black old school, like 70. I think it's like a early 70s Ford that they turned into a 6100 truck. Mm-hmm. If you watch the preview, you'll hear it. There's a spot where he's going down the whoops, probably doing about 60, and it's just, it sounds like a 2-stroke dirt bike almost.
Really?
It's so high pitched, loud, like F1 racer. And you're like, God damn, how much horsepower is there? They're like, oh, that's only like 380 to the rear tires. I was like, wait, 380 all the way back on 40s to the tire? I was like, that's a lot of fucking horsepower. That's 700-800 horsepower.
Yeah.
Out of a naturally aspirated V8.
Yeah.
I was like,
wow,
this is fun. But and then the whole Terra crew got out there. We got to sit in the center of the track and watch them all, and then go for rides. And it was just a lot of fun. And then we got to go with the Hoonigan crew and watch all the burn pit and all you're doing donuts with Square Body Syndicate, which is all square body trucks, and then square body windowless vans out there with like LS swaps in them doing donuts. Oh, it was a blast, man.
That's cool.
That's basically how we got here, man. And I know it's hard to give a short and dirty of it, but because it's been a long roller coaster of a ride. I do Sycan full time. We have 4 shows going. No, 3. We're down to 3 now. We had that docuseries called Lifting the Redwood Curtain that we were going to put out. We ended up axing it, which sucks. It was like 3 years out of my life that were like, fucking nothing's going to hit. It was too negative. It's scary shit. It's the missing persons and violent crime rate for Humboldt County is something not to be fucked with. And it's
so
scary.
It's kind of like a true crime stuff.
Very. I mean, we follow 3 people in the woods, and only one is known to be alive now. And
oh my god,
these are all guys who came, from various parts of the country to, for the green rush, to be wealthy off of weed, and ended up becoming heroin addicts and fentanyl addicts. Fentanyl took one guy out. The other guy died of, I think, he's basically an alcoholic. He was real big in the punk rock scene back in the 80s, and he had liver failure and died in his sleep. And another guy died of somebody laced his meth with fentanyl, and
Jesus,
and he died. And
that is pretty dark shit.
we were on scene of murder crimes, and got involved with trying to find out more about sex trafficking, and had death threats and from the Bulgarian mob,
organized
which
crimes,
I didn't know existed.
That's organized crime. You're kind of getting involved.
Oh yeah,
with
we were poking the bull.
Yeah,
we were doing some shit. We sat in on we were the first white people ever to sit in on a flower dance with the Wiat tribe. We met with 3 different tribes and their council members, and got to learn a lot of history that opened our eyes up a lot, and learned the history of California and Humboldt's crazy, man. It's been an outlaw state since it started.
with the Wild West.
It started with genocide of Native Americans, and it never stopped then. It just became a different subject. It was trees, and then weed, and and it's just and it's the most beautiful place on the West Coast. It is so beautiful up there, and it is scary if you don't know where to go and you don't know what you're doing, or if you don't know anybody. And you better pack heat when you're going to some of those back roads. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
and
you come across a crop or something.
And everybody thought it was going to get better. When we got legal, it got worse.
Yeah.
And because it's so hard to do all that, and, being an off-roader, going up there.
Sure.
Fuck, man. Everyone's like, yeah, do the Usal Trail. I was like, that's about the only one that's safe.
Yeah.
Is it? Because it's so renowned. There's no, cartel, I think, stays away from it because it's so well trafficked.
Okay.
And you have all the money there, Shelter Cove and the Lost Coast area and stuff that I think they're more east.
Mendocino.
Yeah. And, because all your small time stuff is there. But as far as like the crime, you have all those tremigrants and people that are coming in. I mean, there's 60,000 people living in those hills that are unaccounted for. They just live in tents on the ground.
Oh, boy.
And it's so... Yeah, I would love to explore more up there, or quote unquote overland, but I keep
helicopter.
Keep my big ass out of there.
All right.
So from cars, keys to KC to crime, here we are.
Man, you did good with that alliteration there.
No shit, good note taking.
That was
good. So Rogue Element today, what's going on today with Rogue?
We are still editing the pilot. It's basically done. I'm waiting on color grade.
Okay.
So I don't fuck with color grade. I hate it. It's the worst. I think the worst part of editing. It for artists, I guess that's fun. For me, it's just I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
It's one of the few things I'm not good at it, and I have no desire to learn.
So what is color grading for the layperson here?
So,
i.e. myself. That doesn't know.
When you're filming with like bigger production cameras or more professional cameras, we have things called V-Log or LUTs. And basically what it is that it sets it gives a more even keel to your picture. So everything is flat.
Okay.
And then when you put it into a color grade system, or like when you're editing, like I use Adobe Premiere, when you put it in there and you start screwing with the colors, you want everything to look uniform. So there's a lot of, you're not going to deal with a lot of highs like your whites, or, there's not stuff that's too dark, right? To where it's like almost coming up as blue on your TV screen. So a color grading guy's job is to make sure everything kind of looks the same, and make sure colors pop where they should, and make sure they're dull where they're not, or where they're supposed to be. And just make it flow right. And so then your TV's not wigging out, your eyes aren't going like, what the fuck's going on? And it makes it look good and a real cinematic look, because we shoot everything in like, we want that cinematic story, like what you were saying about, Brotherhood of Brew and all the stuff that we did. That was our mission, was to make it as cinematic as possible.
It looked great.
And we want that because I believe as a producer and a director that I don't want the story to be told through voice. I want it to be shown through video. And if we can do that, like I want to make, like we're actually making a film here pretty soon that'll be kind of an, I guess, overland background of it, but there'll be no words at all.
Really?
It'll be you'll hear music, but there won't be, and no one will talk, and it'll be an actual storyline.
Wow.
And
I'm intrigued.
yeah, we haven't found one out there. There's a guy who just did one, and I was like, you motherfucker. But it was really good. So I was like, it's one of the few ones on YouTube that I call. It's a guy named Drew Sims, and he's a photographer. But he just got he's been doing videography for like a year or so, or maybe longer than that. But his YouTube channel has been for like a year. He's got like 900,000 followers or some shit. It's like crazy off of like 12 episodes. It's insane, but it's so high quality cinematic that I was like, okay, I've seen this done. There's been movies done like this, and there's been documentaries done like this. And I think like Pale Rider, if you watch it in the first 20 minutes, I don't think there's anything. There's nobody says anything. Bang a gong.
Bang a gong, it's on.
So that's what like intrigued me is like all the old spaghetti westerns. There was so little talking in a lot of it. Pale Rider was one, and it was always the Eastwood movies, right? Pale Rider, and then like High Plains Drifter.
Right.
He doesn't talk for the first half hour.
How do you get overlanders not to talk about their shit, though? That's the hard thing.
You got to roll with the right ones.
The Scottle. They want to talk about the Scottle.
The Batwing.
It's a lot of editing. Yeah, right.
Just don't talk. Just sit there and stir your fajitas.
And that's funny is like my crew is like, now that we have it dialed in, we're like kind of the overlanders. If anybody follows me, they know that I hate the term influencer.
Right.
Yep.
And it's funny that I'm going to the Overland Expo, this next weekend, and I wouldn't go voluntarily. I have no desire to go to Overland Expos at all because it's like this conglomerate of overland dorks.
A lot of rooftop tents.
It is. I love rooftop tents, so I hate sleeping on the ground, but for multitude of reasons. But I'm going there to work. Forgot your 6 coffee, but I don't know. I don't like the whole stigma and dorkiness, and that's why I don't like so many YouTube overland shows.
Right.
Is because it seems manufactured, and like we have sponsors, and we have sponsors that are very heavy in the overland thing, but it's something that we disclose with them is, listen, if you're looking for another trail recon, I'm not your dude.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that shit. If it works for him, good for him. He's got 400 something thousand subscribers. I'd fucking love to be in that position and making that money, but I will not sell myself out, I guess, if that's what it is, but I don't have the personality to be that guy.
Right.
And if you want something that's highly cinematic or something that's going to be semi-educational to shit that might actually matter, or just something that's fun to watch, that's what we want to make. But I don't want to make that whole fucking every scene is like, some dude waking up and making coffee.
Right.
We have some of that here and there. We don't make food in every single fucking film.
Right.
And we maybe we don't hit the most hardcore trails sometimes or do something. I have a lot of stuff that things I've done with my kids, and I didn't make that for people to watch. I made it for my family to watch.
Sure.
And for my kids to be able to watch it and share at their school and do things like that. And if we get some subscribers out of it, fucking awesome, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I'm not doing it to cater to any one person or thing like that. And that's kind of what we're doing with Rogue Element, but we're branching out now to do a bunch of stuff. We have several builds. I guess. We're still building Christian's Power Wagon to be better. We keep having issues with it being too heavy because that Power Wagon suspension is soft. So we're waiting on Fox has some new 2.5s coming out for it, and which will stable it. Like right now it sways like crazy. We leveled it out with Synergy leveling kit, and the shocks just aren't enough. The weird thing about it is they're made and geared more towards the heavier diesel, but the diesels don't have a soft suspension like the Power Wagons.
No.
So
I can attest to that.
Yeah, right. And because I had a Synergy level on my Cummins before I sold it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen to that.
Get it.
Boom, boom, boom.
It's my jam.
Yeah.
We need something with a bypass that we can adjust and really fine tune it, because that truck is just a beast. And we proved it on this last trip. We just took a trip up into the High Sierras, up off of 88, and I about made him shit himself a couple times on some of the trails. We were on some Jeep trails that were really easy for the Audi that was with us because of the tracks. He could stay in that center track. It really wasn't that difficult.
Wow.
He had some areas where he had to go real slow and some clearance issues, but because of the way the berms were on the sides that came down in from side by sides driving up through there in Jeeps, his angle on these corners, and there was some pitch shit.
Yeah.
But there was a couple times where I even got out and like, I was like, I'm going to film.
Yeah.
And he's like, but I was like, I just don't want to be in this motherfucker when it rolls.
It's off
And
camber,
there was this final turn we did where I was like, I mean, he was so articulated, his spring popped out of the fucking perch.
The coil did.
And, I was like, I saw it doing it and I was like, well, fuck it.
Yeah.
If it happens, it happens, you know, and maybe we can winch ourselves out back onto four wheels. But he came around and Christian's still learning a lot. And he's learning a lot in one of the toughest rigs to do it in.
Yeah. Full size.
Because it's full size, right? If you would have started in a Jeep, I think he would probably he'd go and push himself a little more, but I think it still scares the shit out of him a little bit every once in a while. And I see it, and I love watching him push his limits and get better. And every trip we go out, he gets better and gets better. He has a little problem trusting. You know, I'm just like
trust issue.
You'll hear me in the film too. I'm just like, dude, fucking stop. Just stop and listen. You're not listening to me. You need to turn driver.
Yeah.
Just trust me. I will not make you wreck. You're my ride home, asshole.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I filmed it all. And at first I wasn't going to say anything behind the camera and I was just going to let him do his thing, but he would have just dented the shit out of his truck. And I mean, we kissed a couple logs because these Jeep assholes go up there and don't cut them wide enough. They do it just for the track.
Been there, done that.
I'm like, dude, you couldn't go another fucking foot.
Yeah.
We
And
saw a guy cut a log just wide enough for a motorcycle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking selfish dick.
Yeah, when we do our adopted trails, it's wide. Damn near a semi could fit through there
Oh,
if
yeah,
if
easily.
it's a you know.
And that's the
feasible.
thing too, is a lot of rigs now are pulling trailers, you know, adventure
Yeah.
trailers and shit. So I'm like, we were talking about it. I was like, what if we had we did a bunch of stuff with Opus. I was like, what if we had the OP4 on the back of this? We would have had him getting out and doing it by hand.
Wow.
I was like, because this trail had, I mean, it was tight. It was tight.
Yeah.
And watching him get to do that stuff was pretty cool. So, you know, we're filming a lot of stuff like that, but we're building, you know, that rig to be a little bit better. I think we're going to actually start taking stuff off and making it a little more nimble. And we're going to go with I believe we're going to probably go with like a stage 5 Thurin kit on it with, you know, 3.0s all the way around if we don't like the way the 2.5s do, because then we're going to launch that motherfucker. I like jumping everything. So I jumped that piece of shit Raptor I had as many times as I could.
Yeah, you don't
I'm
have
building
the Raptor anymore, huh?
I sold it, dude.
Yep.
30 something check engine lights later. I was done. Man.
That's crazy.
And the market was so crazy.
Yep.
I bought it for 54, sold it for 71. So I was like,
wow.
I'm out.
What?
And I didn't sell it with I took off almost all the sponsored shit off it.
Did you put the clown shoes back on it when you sold it?
No,
you sold those separately.
No, a guy bought
it.
it. I think he lives in Richmond. I don't remember where he lives, but he bought them and then they're gold now.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
Oh, how fun.
It actually looks really good on his white truck.
Yeah.
I saw it. He sent me a picture. He's like, dude, they turned out great. And I was like, yeah, the fucking
Perfect.
clown shoes, man. That's
the red rims.
It looked-
that was
I
so
hated 'em.
funny when you got that. I was like, oh my god, that's hideous.
So
it
you
was
sold the Raptor and then you went back old school and you bought a Wagoneer.
Bought an 85 Wagoneer. Yes.
Man,
and
and
it died 2 weeks ago. I ground it out. Being an idiot, I didn't unhook the battery. I was just swapping out the dash real quick, my gauges. And it has that old school ammeter on the back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I had the positive side in my hand and I dropped the gauges on my right side and I went to go try to catch it with my left and it arced on my dash.
Uh-oh.
We don't know where it went. We
Really?
don't know. All the fuses are fine, and the guy who owned it before me does not the guy that owned it before me. The guy worked on it before me. The guy who owned it before me actually knows his shit, but he owned it temporarily. He was going to build it up and restore it, and he decided him and his wife and his daughter are going to be traveling in an RV for the next 2 years. So they sold everything they owned.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I got a steal on it and flew up to Oregon, drove it all the way home. But this guy, the guy who owned it before or worked on it before, the wiring, there was no fusible link anywhere.
Oh God.
There was how this thing hasn't burned up. There was a wire that went straight from the battery, or not battery, went straight from the starter solenoid all the way into the dash, was exposed and just sitting there. And how that didn't arc and start a fire, I don't know, because I burned the shit out of myself when I found it. And then
Jesus.
we don't know. Oh, and then I believe there's 13 or 14 wires that go basically from the alternator area and starter solenoid all the way back to the firewall. It might even be more than that. They were basically all one wire because they were just laying on top of the valve cover. So they had all melted together.
Oh, good.
So me and a friend who's a badass mechanic, I spent probably 6 days trying to find the issue. Couldn't find it. I have no power in the whole thing anywhere. The power ends at right after the solenoid, and we have no clue where it went. So I ended up just yanking it all out and bought a all new wiring. So I've been rewiring the complete truck.
Wow.
I mean, everything from front to back, just redoing it all.
Wow.
We are dropping a 5.7 Hemi out of a police cruiser.
Cool.
That we've opened up. We're putting basically not all new internals, but new cam, new lifters, reworking the heads. That's getting made it up with a Holley Terminator X Max kit.
Yeah.
So complete standalone system. We're thinking 575 horsepower, 550.
Wow.
But the exterior and interior of the truck will be 100% 1985.
Yeah.
So I'm repainting it. Yeah. So I'm repainting it all that navy blue with the wood grain trim, vinyl trim. And you know why they did that? You know why they did the vinyl?
No.
So, and this is what I've been told by Jeep guys and I researched it and it seems to be true. So back in the early 80s, when they first started doing it, the reason why they started putting the vinyl on it was because the door steel stamps that they used in the manufacturer plants were pitting. And instead of spending the couple $100,000 to replace them, they just put fucking vinyl over it because they were imperfect. Yeah. They're imperfect. And then all of a sudden it became popular. He started putting it on the K cars and the minivans and everything else. It became the biggest mistake. The most successful mistake they ever did. And now to this day now it's all like, the Woody craze came back in the 80s and it came back again with the stupid ass PT Cruisers in 02.
Right.
But it was a mistake and they just ran with it. They never changed the doors on from the 70s all the way through to 91 when they ended the run are all the same doors.
Wow.
They only changed the fenders. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I have to replace that. The interior actually, carpet is sitting at my house. The cat skin actually makes custom leather direct just for that vehicle for the Wagoneer. So I don't have to actually spend $3,000. I spent $800 on new coverings and they're exactly perfect zip on, just like the old ones with a couple clips here and there. Dash is in perfect shape. Stinger Audio is doing some stuff with that. Phoenix Audio gave us all new speakers and everything that are all hidden. So even a sub for the rear that's put into where the old jack used to be. So we cut out a bunch of stuff in there so we can actually fit a 10-inch subwoofer perfectly in it. And it has enough airspace for it to sound good.
Oh, cool.
And then we'll hide the amps and everything under the front seats. I've already put new, and this is crazy. All the shit that I've learned about Wagoneers is crazy because they're so different than your standard Jeep. There's only lap belts in the rear and I needed to fit 2 car seats and a booster, right?
Okay.
And I'm like, holy shit, how am I going to do this? I can't do it without shoulder harnesses.
No,
and then I ended up finding out they be up above the wheel wells in the rear. They had spots. They're already drilled and tapped for shoulder harnesses, but they had nothing below.
Oh.
So what I did was I drilled a hole through the fender, sent the bolt up, and then had I bought all new shoulder harnesses. They're mounted above the wheel well, and then they go straight up and then back down.
Oh, wow.
And so they look factory. And I was like, holy shit, spent like 2 hours doing it, and they work perfect. So now I can fit the kids in, which they were so sad when I told them it broke. And I had to push it out to the front of the house with a friend, or we towed it with his Audi, Gene. And I was like at arm's length with it, and I couldn't put it in the garage because my Scout build is in there.
Okay.
And so I'm like, holy shit. Okay, well, I guess now we're going to just put the Hemi in. But because of the shop that I'm filming at, we're so far behind because of the COVID issue with parts.
Sure.
We can't get parts in time. So he has all these builds that are behind months. And I should already have the Hemi in, and we should be about a month into the Scout build. And so now I'm just refreshing the whole 360. Where I'm swapping it over to an FI system. because it gets like 7.5 to 8 miles a gallon.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And has no power. It's got like
fuel.
maybe 150, 160 horsepower if I'm lucky. So we're going to run that as my daily driver until, it'll probably take me about another week or so, and I'll have all the wiring done. It'll be fired back up again. And then I'll have the interior, and then it goes in to get new paint. So it's lifted. It's 3-inch spring lift, leaf spring lift front and rear. It's got, not rough country. I don't remember what shocks that are on it. They've been on it since I bought it, and it's a smooth ride. I've had to put spacers in the front because of the 31s, and factory, you can't properly, I don't know how they balanced them back in the day, because if you put any weight on the inside of the wheel, it gets taken off by your tie rod.
Oh, yeah.
So the tie rod end just pops it off. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to put spacers, which they're minimal spacers, but just enough to clear that weight. And then now I'm not hitting. I changed my lock so I don't rub on the back. So if I turn left or right, it's the back side of the opposite wheel or tire that rubs. I don't rub on the front side of the tire on the leaf spring, but I do. But I watched some videos of like what guys were doing them, because I don't like spacers, but I don't plan on doing anything really hardcore with this thing. But I've watched leaf springs explode.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, nope. I'm not in that game. But yeah, we've got that build, which is basically just like a really cool sleeper / like classic overland style. I can go camping with my kids in it. If I put a rooftop tent on, I can, but I probably won't. I'm going to do it for some photo shoots and some stuff for Free Spirit.
They don't build them like that anymore.
They sure don't, man. But I've done sound deadening in the whole thing. New headliner. We're doing like this custom, like plaid style headliner. That's going to be really cool with like the tan interior, because I don't want tan headliner. They always get so dirty.
Right.
And with kids, I'm like, no. But I'm only going to rock that one for about a year. That basically, one of the reasons we bought them is because the resale market on them is batshit crazy.
Batshit crazy on everything.
It is now, but these have been this way for a while. I've been watching them for quite some time. And, you can pick them up unrestored, running, not smoggable, in this state for anywhere between 10 to 17 grand, right? Wow. And they still need restoration.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nut and bolt restoration. So if you're breaking this thing down to nut and bolt, you're looking at $75,000 to $95,000 for a fucking Wagoneer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Resto mod.
Now, if you're looking at like middle of the road, kind of like what we're doing kind of like a hybrid between a nut and bolt to, like a resto mod, because I'll be the first one that we can see. I don't think anyone's ever done a 5.7 Hemi in it. You've got a couple out there now. There's 2 on the market with Hellcat motors in, which would be way too much for this vehicle. I cannot imagine. I think it's a complete fucking waste of money
at that point.
Yeah, because I have it's a Dana 44 front, and then I have the AMC 20 rear, which the AMC 20 rear is not bad. It's kind of an underrated, axle for what it is.
The 2-piece axle shafts?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But we're going to probably swap it out to a 44. That, and I can, with the 40, with the bigger Danas, you can get, the easier kits to swap over to a disc rear.
Okay.
Sure.
Because it's drum rear right now, which is fucking worthless, man.
Yeah, I hate drum brakes.
Yeah.
So, but they make the kits for the 20s, and but I just don't want to. I mean, I probably will grenade that thing with the Hemi.
Oh,
especially with the Hemi.
AMC.
Yeah. So it's
20. Ugh.
That's really the only upgrade I'm going to do to the suspension. But we're thinking with the 5.7 Hemi, fully fuel injected, Holley Terminator kit that's fully programmable, with an upgraded sound, and everything else. We just didn't do a frame off on it. We're thinking like 40 to 50 grand probably. And so I'm basically using this as, we're going to get some really cool content, do some cool vintage shit. We got some other guys that have some vintage rides we've reached out to. I want to do some stuff with I Am Roamer, which all they do is vintage shit.
Right.
So we want to do some stuff like that for probably the next 9 months to a year or so. And then it's going to really catapult us into getting into the pre-runner game.
Okay.
We want to race.
Ooh.
I want to get back into racing. So it's been a long time.
KOH?
Yes. We want to build 2 rigs. We want to build a 4-wheel drive, which is going to be my Scout. So my 79 Scout 2, we're looking at regulations now to try to see where we want to fit.
Well, stock class, right?
We don't want to do that.
No.
So right now, the motor I have right now for it is an LT1 with a Comp 4 turbo setup. So you're looking at 700 to 800 horsepower. But that puts us in a fucking group where you got to have deep pockets to compete.
Yep.
So I'm like, we're talking to a lot of our sponsors. We're sponsored by BFG and Warren and a lot of big companies have deep pockets, but COVID's changed everything for us. I'm trying to get hubs for my Wagoneer, and Warren's out until November on them.
Really?
And so it's like, holy shit. Okay. So how am I going to get, $10,000 to $50,000 from a company that can't get product right now? Sure. They're selling the shit out of things because everyone's at home building their stuff, but they don't need to advertise. They don't need to do anything because one, they can't keep up with the demand. And two, they don't need to, we're not sure where we fall on that. And it's been a lot of a learning curve on my end between like KOH and Best in the Desert and Score. And like, where can we build one vehicle that we could possibly fit into all three? Or do we build 2 vehicles and only race in this one? And then this other one can race in the other 2. So that's, I think, what we're going to go with is we want to build like our vision for the Scout was like a luxury 4x4 pre-runner, right? It's 4-wheel drive capable. I've got Dana 60s on it. I mean, it was, my uncle built it right. Originally it had a 455 Buick big block in it and a fucking Scout.
Wow.
And he just,
that's heavy.
Big motor there.
it was big. I mean, the front tire would come off the ground when you dropped it. And then unfortunately, he sheared off, the back 2 rods and, it's game over. And it's been sitting since 2008. And so I bought it, last year and had all these plans to do it. And it's changed a bunch of times, but the end goal was to do like a luxury style pre-runner, but maintain the 4-wheel drive and have between 16 to 18 inches of travel front and rear.
Wow.
So I can launch it. I can do some crazy shit. Then on top of that, because they're built so narrow, we are going to extend the whole thing 8 inches and do steel wide body so I can tuck 37s.
There you go.
And
now you're talking.
It's already caged. It's full cage. It will follow minus 2 bars. We have to add those 2 angle bars that come down into the dash in the middle. That's the only thing we're missing and it has to go, as long as it goes to the floor, we're good. Right. And so that's easy because we're ripping the whole dash out. We're redoing it all anyways. And it's also going to be full Holley Terminator kit. So we'll be fully digital inside, fully programmable. And, if we can do that and fit 37s in this things, I mean, we can basically go anywhere with it. But then we have to worry about the power. So do we lose the turbo? As long as we maintain the front factory grill and we stay under 390 cubic inches, we can go into, I think it's Class 8. And that's the same with KOH and Score.
Okay.
So if we do Class 8, then we're going up against basically Ford Rangers and everything mid-size.
Okay.
And we could stomp a fucking mud hole in some people doing it if we have enough horsepower. But then I have to go like probably like a stroked out Ford motor, or as long as we stay under 390 cubic, because that's the cool thing about it's a 79. So it was one of the last years they offered a 390 in it.
Yep.
So that allows us to go with a big motor.
Sure.
So we're like, well, shit, do we just build out, stroke out a 5.3 LS3, or do we go Ford and go with a Coyote and wrap that shit out or whatever? But as long as we do that, we can go that route. But we're going up against competition that's like been doing this many, many years. And how are we going to do it? Because I'm not afraid to send it, but the speed and aspect and stuff like that, that's the byproduct that doesn't bother me at all. But it's just getting something that's going to be reliable and to where we actually have a chance. I don't want to spend all this money and go out there and just get absolutely obliterated.
That's the thing. I mean, it's so tough out there, and it beats the living shit out of cars. But I
know we want to do Best in the Desert 2022.
Okay.
I think we'll have something ready by then, at least the last half of it, so then I can get more seat time. But I've got some stuff, we've been doing a lot of stuff with a company called Dirt Design, which I'm wearing their shirt now. And we met these guys through Terra Crew at LS Fest. And, we did the Pismo takeover with them and Terra Crew. And we've been sharing a lot of notes back and forth. Dirt Design just bought their first actual trophy truck.
Okay.
They had a 6100 before then, and before then it was a 1400 series, and they have a full race team, and we have a lot of like avenues that we can go to help. luckily become friends with a lot of great people like the Eisenhower brothers and
Sure.
Darren Parsons and all these guys that are going to really help us, point us in the right directions where we need to go. And I've got an awesome builder with Garrett Brumley, who's at 3-5 Customs, where we've been shooting this TV show, and he's building a lot of our stuff. He's an absolute beast fabricator. And, be able to get the right horsepower and everything, knowing that it's going to be built right, is going to be awesome. On that thing, it's keeping steady on the vision, because we keep going on these, these tangents of, oh, I want to change it to this, or I see a rendering of something else of the Scout and I want to change this. And then it's like, well, how about we just build the Scout to do one thing and find the one place that we can race it. Maybe it's only a couple times a year. And then we go out and we build a real trophy, or not trophy truck, but build like a 6100 series truck or something that we can do fast desert racing, like the Baja 500. I'm not ready for the 1000. I'm not stupid.
That's a big commitment.
It's huge, man. And it's a lot of money. And I want to start smaller, best in the desert.
Sure.
There's some other stuff there. Got the Mint 400, which I hear a lot of guys complain about. And then, there's KOH and stuff like that, which is not pre-runner friendly. Obviously, you need 4-wheel drive to do a lot of the shit that's out there. But then you have San Felipe, the 250, and then Glen Helen's doing a bunch of shit. I like that short course stuff too a lot. Obviously those are $250,000, $500,000 trucks to do real short course, right? And I have no desire into doing that, even though it's fucking fun to watch.
Oh, it's hell of fun.
I used to film it, and it was so much fun. But and I'm also a bit big to fit in some of those too. So, I'm all just under 6'2", and I'm a big boy, 290 pounds. So I got to lose a lot of weight just to fit in the ones that we want to go. I was a tight fit getting in old Parsons' little Ranger.
Well, and then just the toll that it takes on your body. I mean, most of these guys are doing CrossFit and all that stuff. We talk about Shear, and of course, his co-pilot there, Jason, that owns the CrossFit gym. But yeah, these guys, I mean, they prepare and work out because you are getting just beat to live and crap in these things.
When I did motocross, I was working out 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And because I went into my first race, probably 180, well, my first real race as a semi-pro, I was about 185 pounds, and same height I am now.
Wow.
Which is weird to think that I was that small.
Lanky.
Yeah, it was. And I was getting smoked by these 5'6" kids that weighed 130, 150, right? So I'm having to really push myself. Luckily, I was a lot more experienced than a lot of them because I was 19 at the time. And these, I'm going against 16, 17-year-olds and that are pro. And so I really had to push myself. But I remember my first track day, I was probably only an hour in. I was like, I can't do it anymore. I can't even grip my handlebars anymore. I'm so fucking tired. I can barely lift my arms. And he's like, yeah, you gotta start working out. When's the last time you worked out? I was like, high school.
Yeah.
I was like, I work. I work all the time. I'm going to college.
That's right. So circling, you mentioned all those builds that you're going to do, the Scout and the Wagoneer. You're going to be documenting all this stuff.
All of it. It's all being filmed.
Absolutely. That's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing all this footage.
The Wagoneer build will primarily be on YouTube, with the engine portion of it and a little bit of the suspension will be on the show what we're doing with 3-5 Customs.
Okay.
Which will most likely be Motor Trend. So we haven't even started shopping that project yet. I have talked to my contact at Motor Trend about it because we've done some other stuff through various companies. And, he's always asked me, hey, you want to do something with Motor Trend? And it's been like, okay, yeah, I do want to. And he's going to point me in the right direction once the pilot's done. But we've been filming since the middle of July on several builds. Part of the builds is one of 5 King of the Road edition Shelby GT500s, 1969.
Saw some of the footage
from Japan.
On yeah, that was
only
badass.
10 were ever sent to Japan. Only 5 were the Jade Black or the Black Jade Green. That's $1 million car.
Yeah.
We've got an all numbers matching original 426 Hemi 68 Charger RT. Wow. That's easily a 6-figure car.
Wow.
We have the trophy horse that he's calls it is a fully hand built custom, and I'm talking hand built. Like all the metal is hand built, including like a lot of the panels, like the exterior of this vehicle with a Ford Illuminator that may or may not be getting Whipple supercharged, like 1,000 horsepower Ford Bronco. Classic.
Yeah. There you go.
Small body Bronco. There's a full size Bronco being built in there that has 18 inches or 16 inches of travel front and rear that has a supercharged Coyote.
Wow.
Is that the 92 Bronco, I think? Full size? The OJ Bronco?
OJ Bronco.
Oh, this motherfucker would have beat those police. they wouldn't
Catch me. You can't catch me.
Yeah. He would have gone out east towards the Mojave and it would have been lights out. And then a couple others, a Pro Street 66 Chevelle. That's Whipple charged LS. And then there's a 62 Impala Lowrider. There's a Pro Touring C-body, like mid 80s, like $125,000 track truck. It's insane. The wheels alone are 10 grand. Yeah, it's insane. Full Acme chassis. It's insane what's in that shop right now. He's got like almost $2 million worth of cars probably sitting in there.
So the footage is you'll be documenting it.
That'll be a full TV show.
Man.
That'll be probably Motor Trend.
Okay.
And that's another one too. We found out we're like, what's missing? What's the one thing when you watch a TV show built about cars, where they're building cars from beginning to end? What's the one thing they don't do very much on those cars? They don't show them driven.
No.
It's like 2 minutes of a finished thing, and then half of it's the credits rolling through, and you're like, what the fuck? I want to see this thing driven.
Yeah.
So ours is, of course, it's driven and it's storyline. So each episode goes into the next one. It's not one off every episode.
Okay.
So it's going to be, you're going to see these cars evolve throughout the whole series, and we're going to drive the shit out of them. So all except probably the KR.
Yeah. That one.
We've already driven it on film.
Really?
So we filmed its first drive. Drove like shit, missing, and it was hot out.
Yeah.
And there were some issues with the oil leak. And so when we film all it, there's fuck ups, right? We're showing people the fuck ups of this.
Real world.
All these other ones, there's very rarely issues. So, but the Charger, the guy said we could drive it on a track, it would be fine. But there's a 66 Pro Touring 700 horsepower Mustang Coupe that has a cantilever rear suspension. It's getting the shit driven out of it. The Bronco, obviously, we're going to off-road both Broncos like crazy. I know the owner of the full-size Bronco, and he's like, send that motherfucker. And
nice.
But it's going to be a huge portion of it where you get to be inside the car. We're going to have cameras under it on the suspensions. We're going to have drones. We're going to have chase cars. We're going to have everything involved in this, where you get to see these things driven. And a couple of them, like the track car, you're going to see in a competition and actually being professionally driven.
Wow.
So that's been the coolest part about that.
Right.
And yes, to circle back, answer the question is, the Wagoneer will be on that. The Scout will be 100% on that show. The 100% of the build of the Scout will be on that show.
Keep us up to speed on what's happening with that and when things drop and whatnot, because I'm super interested, and I'm sure our listeners are going to be super interested.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd like to change gears a little bit and talk about these bottles that have been sitting on the table kind of staring at us for the last hour.
You know, and it's funny. It's this one bottle that we'll go over. I've been so excited. Like every time we talk online and stuff, we're like, trying to find a time. And it's been like, what, a year and a half,
At
2
least,
years almost since we've been trying to do this. I've been saving this bottle since then. And I'm like, motherfucker. I was like, we got to make some way to happen this. And I told my wife like a week ago, I was like, listen, I was like, it was before you text me on Instagram about, hey, we have some time. I was like prepping her. And I was like, listen, that 2008 is sitting in the goddamn fridge. I want it so bad. I was like, the second they text me, we just need to make the day available. I was like, I don't care if you need to leave me with all 3 kids for like a week, as long as this one day fucking happens.
Wow.
It's this special.
Oh boy.
Wow.
But yeah,
a big lead up here.
I brought you 3 of my favorite barrel aged brews. And because this is whiskey, wine, and wheeling, not whiskey, beer, and wheeling, I had to bring some bourbon into the mix, right? So we have 3 aged bourbon barrel aged brews. Okay. And we have 2 stouts and we have 1 winter ale. So the winter ale is called B-Bomb. It's from Fremont Brewing. It's out of Seattle. And I'm sure some of the people that follow me that are listening to this are like, oh, Jesus Christ, he's going to go on about Fremont again. So these 2 are, I believe, the top 1 and number 2 barrel aged game breweries in the world.
Okay.
And they flip flop between 1 and 2 against each other. And sometimes there's a 3 that's also another one out of Oregon, really good. But Fremont, they make the winter ale called a B-Bomb, and they do like 3 to 4 different variations. This one is a coffee and cinnamon winter ale. Okay. And it's just a phenomenal mixture of the palate's just ridiculous. Some will call it a dessert beer. I don't think it's that thick and that sweet of it to call it that, but whatever. Their other one, Dark Star, and that's a 2019. The other one, the B-Bomb, that's a 2016. I've had that since 2016.
16.
Yeah. And then the
5
Dark
years.
Yeah, the Dark Star is a 2019, so it's been around for a little while. That's a chocolate and vanilla and maple syrup stout.
Okay.
So that's a dessert beer, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you guys that. You can try it later. We'll try the other two.
Okay.
But the Abyss, this is the coup de grace of
The coup de
This is-
grace.
Coup de grace.
this is, if you think about barrel aged beer, stouts mainly, these guys are the OGs. They're some of the first to ever do it, and the Abyss has come out every single year since 2018. My best friend, who's going to be my co-host on Brotherhood of Brew for the second season,
Okay.
he has every bottle from 2008 on up,
Wow.
and he's probably got 400 bottles in his garage. And I mean, this is a guy who sells this shit for a living, so he gets to keep a lot of them. But this is a 2008 Abyss. This has been aged in bourbon barrels for a year, and now it's been sitting since 2008 in a temperature regulated fridge known as a GE shit box that I put stickers all over. But it keeps beer really cold. And the good part is these are best at room temperature.
Yeah.
So having them out for the last hour or so has been actually perfect for it. But yeah, you guys want to crack these open?
Yeah.
let's do it.
There's a nice little antler opener in front of you there.
Here we are, the
The
pour.
notes are incredible.
Man, that looks thick and chocolatey.
So what year is this?
This is an 08.
08.
There you go, sir.
2008.
The light doesn't even come through it.
No,
Oh,
that's,
no.
that's a porter. That's a thick, rich, dark porter
It's a
there.
stout.
Or stout,
So
I
this
mean.
is a Russian stout.
Oh.
Imperial. Yeah.
How do they say toast? How do you cheers in Russian?
Oh shit, what is it? I used to know it too. I don't know.
Cheers.
But it's, you know how we do it in Ben?
How you doing,
Cheers.
band?
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers,
All right,
everyone.
cheers.
It's a lot lighter than it's supposed to be. Might have missed its prime. I don't think so, but
That's
Coffee.
a
Yeah.
big beer. That's a big drink right there. What's the alcohol content on this?
should be 12, I think. Let me see here.
That'll light you up.
I always
Well,
forget
it's
what
like a
these are.
glass of wine.
It's 11.
11.
That's thick, chocolatey. It's like coffee.
You know what? This is probably, I'm not even going to lie, this is about a year past.
You think
Where it
so?
should
You
be.
think it
It's not smooth as it normally is. It's well, it's smoother. It's not as thick.
It's not
It's not nearly as thick as it was. Oh, it's disappointing.
I think it's pretty good, but then I have nothing to compare it to.
Wait till you have one of these. Wait till I have this winter ale.
It's great.
Nah, that sucks. So I opened in 08 a year and a half ago. Fucking ridiculous.
Really?
And that's when my buddy was like, hey, you need to open your 08. And I was like, I'm going to let it marinate another year.
What see, we should have done this podcast a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd have been perfect.
No, the what I was going to say, it's great how barrel aged beers, age.
Sure.
And it's just like wine or anything else, right? Like you're not going to age your C minus.
No.
But yeah, I've got some barrel aged Backwoods Bastard in there, and it does it improves.
It really does. And it's funny. Have you something I tried? My wife a couple years ago got me one of these kits because one of her coworkers' husband introduced me to it. But it's a aging mixed drinks with bourbon, like an old fashioned. Have you ever had? I can't even talk. An aged old fashioned.
Yes, I have.
Fucking great.
I know.
How does that
So
work?
basically, I bought this. I think it was a 2 liter or maybe a 3 liter. My wife bought it for me. It's an oak barrel.
Okay.
And it's repurposed. So they take the wood, make smaller little barrels out of it. They torch it, and then they send it to you. You mix an old fashioned. You pour it in it. You tap the bung, or you stamp it in, and you let it sit. And I let mine sit for 6 months.
Wow.
So you make the drink and then you put it in the barrel.
Yeah, and every once in a while, you just go over and shake the shit out of it, to get the sugars moving.
Right.
And it re-ferments.
Right.
And it's fucking incredible, like how smooth and it brings out like the notes in the whiskey even better. This last one I did, I used Buffalo Trace.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
And which is already super smooth on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did another one before that, which I think actually came out better. But I used Wright and Brown's rye.
Oh, I haven't had that one.
Wright and Brown out of Oakland.
Oh, really? It's
Fucking
local.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Never heard of them.
Dude, they're definitely.
So how's that?
Really?
WRIT
And Wright and Brown.
or WRIGHT?
IGHT. Yeah, like the Wright brothers.
Right. Yeah, never heard of them. the new distilleries are popping up everywhere. I don't know how long Wright and Brown's been around, but
I think 2010. They're young.
Okay. Yeah, there's a distillery that's opened up out near my work in Discovery Bay that's on Victoria Island, which I have to go check out. But it's obviously I'm not going to stop on my way to or from work.
Right.
But it's it used to be an asparagus packing shed.
See that glass?
I don't know if they do asparagus anymore, but now they got a distillery there, and yeah, I got to check it out.
Wow.
Report on that one too.
What do you get on the nose here, Chris?
This one's going to jack with you a little bit. There's a lot in it.
This is like I first got coconut, and then I got
vanilla, chocolate,
dark stone fruit. Oh my gosh.
What's this? This
is Bee Balm. So this is a winter ale that's been barrel aged in bourbon, but then you've got cinnamon. So you're gonna have cinnamon. You're gonna have some coffee in there.
Oh, there's definitely some cinnamon on the palate.
I've definitely got the coffee for sure.
Yeah, there's coconut.
So there is coconut. See?
Yeah.
Yeah, coconut bomb.
Isn't that good? I love it, man.
Wow.
Coffee with coconut and a little bit of vanilla. Cinnamon. Yeah, cinnamon's mild.
It's real mild. As it ages, cinnamon will kind of take a back seat, and a lot of that has to do with the alcohol.
That is good. That's not something you want to sip in the sun by the pool, but this is a great,
and it's 14%.
Campfire.
So it's a little bit of a hammer.
Yeah. So it's just like a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I like it.
The thing I like about winter ales, and they're called winter ales, for multitude of reasons. I mean, it's a style of brew, but a lot of people also associate that with just like it being colder weather and be like warm you up. But the way these guys do it, it's just a year-round crushable beer.
Really?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, as you can taste it, it doesn't feel like
it's.
I mean, I'm also talking to somebody who like will drink a lot of thick shit like that. Right there, that Dark Star is thick.
Okay,
that's not like a crew. Sit by the pool like you're saying. Right. That's like sitting by the fire.
Yeah, that's exactly fire. That's total campfire.
I mean, as most dark beers are.
Dark, stormy night.
Yep.
Potential hurricane on the horizon.
Yeah,
cuddled up, generator running, warm blanket, campfire. Yeah.
And that's what that's the thing I like about those. And like I got in the barrel age game kind of late compared to especially to all my buddies. They're all beer guys. They're all either work for a brewery or they do beer sales,
right?
Or they're merchandisers that drive big semi trucks, but. Full of beer, which is like, the job, right? They get everything that falls off the truck.
Yeah.
So, I was more into the brewing process and just stuff that's on tap. And I never really dove into this stuff. And then when I started shooting Brotherhood of Brew, I just, the whole reason I love brewing so much is the science behind it.
Sure.
And just how you can tweak with shit. And, I was, more of a wine person than I was beer. But then I learned about the process. I knew about it from when I was younger, and I brewed my first beer when I was in high school.
Okay,
literally in my bathtub, and that was cool. Being able to drink with my buddies. That's something I made, and the first one tasted like shit, but the next couple ones we really perfected it and did good with it. And then I picked it back up in my 30s, but the science behind barrel age is just fucking awesome, and you got to have a lot of patience.
Sure,
you're constantly every couple months you're checking your shit,
and
so you're making the beer in a conventional beer methodology, and then you're putting that brewed beer into a barrel for
mixed with whatever you want.
Yep. And then for however long.
Yep. Yeah, you fill those barrels up, tap them, or you plug them, and they sit. And then you test them. You put a nail on the front and pull the nail, get a little sip. If it's not right, you put the nail back in. If it's good, then you tap it.
Right on.
And then you bottle it.
So do you top off the beer just like in winemaking because of the angel share, or they do top?
Yeah. So if you ever look, like you'll see some of the websites, you'll just see just the froth pulling out of the top of that, and you got your puller. So, they definitely do that.
It's interesting. So, I started out, I bought all the beer making supplies, like very basic kit, but not like the Costco one that's all in a box. I mean, I had the whole thing. And my cousin and I were going to make beer. And, we read up on it. I read books on it. I talked to people that were home brewers, and was getting ready to pull the trigger on this thing, and then we started doing wine. And I never ever made beer.
And that's all she wrote.
That was all she wrote. I've never made beer, but I've always been intrigued by the process, and of course, liking beer and everything. And I'm like, okay, but we just went straight to the wine arena, and there's a lot of parallels. You actually have to be cleaner, more sanitary with beer than you do wine.
Yeah.
Because a lot of stuff could go wrong in beer if it's unsanitary.
Yeah.
So
yeast can be very temperamental.
Yes. And it is in winemaking, but like I say, it's there's less of a
everything
forgiving.
Every ingredient in beer is time sensitive.
Yeah. So there is a definite art, and just like anything, I mean, I'm a foodie at heart, and I love and it's a recipe and whatever. I mean, there's a lot of art that goes into these fine wines, fine beers, whatever. It's kind of sounds funny saying fine beer, but there's definitely some serious depth here, and it's very interesting. These people that drink Coors Light their entire life, they're missing out on all these other different things, and give it a try if you haven't yet. Those barrel aged beers are
you can find
wonderful.
them a lot. You're not going to really find them in your standard grocery stores ever.
No, you're gonna
find shit ones if you do.
Yeah.
Anything good is small batch. I live in Alameda, and we have a place called Craft Beer Alameda that has okay stuff. Their microbrew selection is great, like for the cans and stuff like that. Like their IPA selection is ridiculous. Their sours are really good.
So popular nowadays.
Are you an IPA guy?
Depends. I get burnt out on them pretty easy because everybody and their brother are doing them. But I mean, that's like a really good, summer drink. But some of them, like, there's a big hazy craze there for a while. I think it kind of it's dying down a little bit.
Sours.
And then it went to sour, like shakes, like smoothie sours, which are really good. I fucking love a good smoothie sour. But I'm more of a Pilsner and lager because there's more time involved. You can't hide flavors in them like you can with an IPA. You can fuck up an IPA on accident.
Oh, yeah.
And have something good. So there's not a lot of art in it, really. Now there's one IPA that impresses the fuck out of me, and I crush it on the daily. Firestone Walker Luponic.
Oh yeah, Firestone.
It is. So a lot of people don't know this, but like the Luponic Distortion, it is a citrusy IPA, but there's no citrus in it. They found a way to do it with only hops.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool, man. And we're gonna do a episode with them on season 2 and really get to learn about Dave and everybody involved there. But
they were just getting going when I was going to school down there at Cal Poly.
No shit.
Yeah, so
They're a monster
was,
now.
Oh, I know.
And they make fucking awesome beer. One of my favorite barrel aged beer is from them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't come out very often, and it's a coffee based. God, I'm having a brain fart. What it's called right now? It's like $30 for a crowler.
What?
It's fucking phenomenal. I can't even I forget the name for it right now. My buddy listening to this is going to be throwing shit.
He's yelling at his radio right now.
It is so goddamn good.
Yeah.
But they have some really good barrel aged shit. Their Sukaba is really good. They have Dark and Stormy Night, which is like it's barrel aged mixed with lime.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's fucking phenomenal.
There's your Dark and Stormy right there.
Yeah, and they've got some other stuff that is just super. Their Weizenbach. I almost brought a bottle of that.
Oh, really?
It's fucking awesome. Now, best Weizenbach on the planet, Deschutes.
Really?
It's called Weizenbach. Holy shit! I finished my last bottle like 3 months ago, and they don't make it anymore. It's fucking phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Like the cherry.
Shame on you.
I know, right? But I do have a maybe once the trails open, these fires fucking go away and stuff. I'll bring the it's called Gravity, the Gravity series that Firestone Walker does, but they make a Weizenbach that's just phenomenal.
Interesting.
Yeah, and you can only find it every once in a while. And I'll call down there like before, like we'll drive down to see family down in Topanga, and I'll call ahead of time, be like, you got any Weizenbach or Weizenbach, or what do you have on tap?
Yeah, what's down there? And you mentioned pilsners and ambers, lagers and stuff. That's what I gravitate towards. I was in the IPA scene before IPAs became popular.
Really?
And I loved them. But then they just got super hoppy and out of control. And
yeah, I'm not into the super hoppy.
They I'm not. Especially the double
not
IPAs.
It's not my palate.
There's triple IPAs.
And
I know, but I mean, so the IPAs were pretty mellow. Then they went super hoppy. Then they went to the double IPAs, and those are like mega hoppy. And then, like you just said,
well, you get these fucking hipster douchebags that stand in line for hours for fucking Pliny the Elder.
I was going to ask you about Pliny.
Dude, Pliny, I have videos on Instagram that I've had people send me hate mail on of me opening a bottle of Pliny the Elder and pouring it out
down the drain,
my sink, and then grabbing a Coors.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, it's funny how
I hate purists. They just bug the shit out of me in any industry.
Well, it's funny how. Yeah, these cult followings, however they happen, there's no magical,
Want some more?
blueprint for them. But
I love it.
It's incredible how some of these things. It's like any the alcohol, Pappy Van Winkle. You go into wine.
Probably watch Heist
like
on that.
Opus One. Yeah, that's a good one.
Opus.
Opus. I've had Opus, and I actually physically own. I may still own a bottle of Opus, but I was so disappointed in that wine every time I tried. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't at this level of godliness that everybody was talking about it as. But it's personal preference. But at what level you start spending all this money on alcohol, and there's some great things out there, and that's why I'm always looking for the bang for the buck. But it's like,
of course,
you start looking at a bottle of wine. Okay, $30, not so bad. $130, $200, $3,000 for a bottle of wine,
and then it's disappointing.
Your level of disappointment increases,
right,
as the dollar goes up,
and it's just like the whiskeys and stuff.
Beer
right,
is the same way.
Yeah, beer is the same way. I mean, I don't know what this bottle costs, but I've got a bottle right on the counter that's $15 for this size bottle from a Mammoth Brewing Company. Yeah, so $15 is kind of the going rate here, and it's not. You're not taking this and just slamming it in one shot.
And even this one, like I bought. I don't know which one this one is, but like the 2008, I know one of them I bought 2 years ago. It was still only $22.
Yeah.
Like even though it had aged for that long, it didn't go up in value. That's the thing with the beer is it never goes really up in value unless it's really small batch, like the coffee one I'm talking about there. It's like 32 for a 32-ounce crowler.
Okay. Wow.
But that's rare. It's really rare. Where wine, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Whiskey,
and whiskey keeps going
as
up.
As long as it's I mean, so my next question on this is: we've opened these wonderful bottles that you're sharing with us, and I super appreciate that. They're not resealable. It's kind of open it.
No,
you
it's
drink
open.
it.
You got to drink it.
You can't. Even next day it doesn't work.
No,
it has to be
that's what
done.
I thought. Yeah.
And the other thing, unlike distilled spirits, they're perishable. They got a life expectancy.
Right.
And they will, and I don't know as much about beer, but I mean, I know wine is cyclical in the bottle, and that's why true collectors will buy a case of a particular good wine,
right,
and open it up 3 years, 4 years, 5 years into it, and try and find that sweet spot, and then they're like, oh, this is as good as it's going to get, and then start drinking those bottles.
See, I always wondered about that too, because I've talked to a lot of people about that. Is where I guess you just don't know, right, where the sweet spot is or when it's going to, because I have a bottle at home.
Well, it's palate.
Well, right. It is,
but then
and
I've also opened some old shit that was bad.
Right.
And then I've had to, I tell the story and the guy's like, dude, if you'd waited 2 years, it would have been fine.
And that's
like, how the fuck does that work? I was like, I get fermentation and stuff, but it's already been fermented. It's in the fucking bottle.
But
there's going to be some.
If it's stored correctly, I mean, you do the best you can as a wine enthusiast. You buy the bottle, you transport the bottle, you store the bottle correctly. Mm-hmm. And then you do your research, whether it's a Pinot or if it's a Cab or whatever the heck it is. And I defer to Jason on a lot of this stuff because he's way more of an expert than I am. But I mean, I'm sitting on a 2011 bottle of Pinot in my cellar at home that some of my sommelier friend Jay down in Southern California is like, dude, you got to drink that. And I'm like,
If it's a Pinot, I'd dump it down the drain and drink a Coors Light.
Well, but
No, there's some good Pinots out there.
but then at the same time, like, I'm going to let it sit and drink it for a special moment, because it's just that's to this day the most expensive bottle of wine I've ever bought.
Wow.
So and when we tasted, we had a private tasting at the winery with the winemaker, and we did a staged tasting with different temperatures.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. And so we waited for we taste, and then we'd sit there and just
Let it
small
open.
talk for a while, let it open, and do it again and again. And that was one of the best Pinots I've ever had. So it's still sitting in my cellar. My fear on that is that I'm going to open that sucker up in a year or two.
It's going to be a huge disappointment.
And it's going to be a huge disappointment.
Well, and it could be like just ridiculously awesome too.
Or it could be.
But that's some of the allure and ambiance, and it's just like, all these bottles you brought, Jeff, are wax dipped. So there's a process of opening this.
Look at the wax dip on this one. It's dripped all the way to the floor.
So the whole ambiance and stuff, I mean, people that are connoisseurs, it's like, the process of opening it, the story that went with that bottle or whatever, right? And just like you were saying with this bottle that you wanted to share with us, that's super cool. It's this whole aura and everything that's around that, pulling a cork out of a bottle, whatever it may be. Yeah, it is. It's very ceremonious. Yes, that's a good word.
It's like watching a child grow.
And then the anticipation.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. And anticipation of what it's going to taste like and what you're getting on the your nose and palate, and then going, okay, and then letting it sit and open up and breathe and all that stuff. I mean, it's
like even this 08, it's getting better.
Exactly. I was just going to, that's where I was going with this, is that it just opened up, and it's funny.
Just what I need, another goddamn hobby.
Well, no.
Dude, I went so fucking deep in the paint with beer barrel aged. My wife's like I know you're a big wine guy, and I'm afraid to get into wine because it's that thing where I'm like, I'm either going to start disappointing myself, because I'm at a point now where like I found the hot pocket between 40 and 100.
Yeah.
And I bought a $500 bottle of wine once, probably this is 2016, and it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
I was so mad, and I went back down to Total Wine. I said, listen, I just bought a $500 bottle of wine from here, and I poured some of it out. And he's like, was it bad? I was like, yeah. I was like, so I'm going to ask you again, what the fucking best shit you got here? And he's all, follow me. And he showed me this bottle of it's still to this day the best bottle. I trashed the whole bottle on a fucking Christmas Eve.
Easy to do.
It was a 2009 DeSantis Cabernet.
Wow.
Fucking incredible. The only one that's been a close second is a Rutherford BV cab.
Yeah, and there's another great,
$80.
I mean, people know about BV. It's very well mainstream, but people don't think of it in that high end category. And BV Tapestry.
It was a 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
It was incredible.
Yeah,
and that's when I started really learning good year. Like what years were good for certain things, right? And that's where I'm like, do I go down that rabbit hole? Do I have time for this?
Well, and yeah,
right.
I mean, it's one of those things, and it's just, whatever trips your trigger and stuff. And that's why I tell people, because, everybody, I've got all my friends and stuff. They're like, oh, hey, I got to buy a bottle of wine or whiskey for my boss for his birthday or for Christmas or whatever. What do you recommend? And I'm like, I don't know what their palate is,
Yeah.
Because what's really good to me may not be good to you, and vice versa. But there are some outstanding, Came a Special Select. I mean, I keep going back to that. It will never disappoint. If you love wine, you're going to love Came a Special Select. I don't care who the hell you are. If you don't, then you don't have a palate for wine, in my opinion.
Deep.
Yeah, there's some of those.
Yeah,
sure.
and then there's some, same with beers and
like
whiskeys
this right here.
and
If you
stuff.
don't like Abyss,
exactly.
I don't know what there is that I can do for you.
Exactly. I mean, if if you're into it, but there are people that are perfectly happy with their Pabst Blue Ribbon, and they just drink to drink, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hey, I like my Strohs. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Strohs. Oh, there you go. Nice.
You know what? The people,
But
the one beer I like probably the most, if it's like you have your daily drinking beer, right? Which I don't do microbrew on that. A lot of it.
No.
Well, being on the West Coast now, it's Modelo usually.
I like Modelo.
I love it. Love it.
Modelo's
Fresh
great.
Modelo all the time. But what really pisses me off, and I heard a rumor last year that, and I think COVID's fucking with it a little bit, is that they're bringing it to the West Coast finally, is fucking Yingling.
Oh yeah,
Yingling Amber is my favorite beer of all time.
I've had
So
that.
good.
Yeah,
I lived in North Carolina for 3 years, and from 2011 to 2014, when my wife went to law school out there, and I would murder cases of Yingling at a time.
Yeah,
it was so good. It's the perfect year-round barbecue. Goes with every meal you can think of. If I didn't drink that, I was down at a Thai restaurant that I became really good friends with the owner, and I drank and ate for free. Because I sold him his car.
Oh,
and I was a finance manager during it, but I haven't sold cars for many, many years.
So
but,
chocolatey.
Yeah.
Was Singha.
Oh, Singha.
Fucking
Yeah.
love that shit, man.
Never
Good
had
Thai
it.
beer.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's awesome. It's a lager from Thailand. Yeah, and it's a really, well, I guess it's it's a lager, but it's kind of in its own thing. It's a Thai beer. There's Singha, and then there's another one. I don't remember what it is.
On
but
the lighter side, because
light.
most of,
Yeah,
most
they're all
of
clear
the
beers.
Far East beers are on the
Yeah.
much lighter side.
yeah, very light. And but it's just the flavor palette is really awesome, and it obviously goes really good with Asian food.
Sure.
And I mean, I could smash like 3 of those at with some pad thai, and I'm good.
Well, that's part of the allure I love of traveling, and when you are in these different states or countries, for that matter, it's like what is the most popular beer here? I want to try it, or whatever it is.
There's so many good regional beers.
Yeah, regional beers, and especially
Wine,
now,
too.
especially throughout the United States with the microbrews that pop up everywhere in
Jesus,
every
man.
big
They're
city,
everywhere now.
and it's like I sit down and they got 40, well maybe not
The problem
40,
with
but
that,
12
too-
beers on tap. It's like, hey, what's the
Well,
local
it's
beer?
tough. I mean, shit. I mean, even in Livermore. So COVID has turned into beer talk, which is great, but COVID was rough on breweries, microbreweries especially. Like
Depends.
we had
Some did well.
I live
There's
in
a lot that
I live
they
in
would
Livermore.
wish for this to continue.
and we had one bridge, the bridges shut down, and that was a good microbrewery brewery. I enjoyed their product, but now my wife and I have been going to Shadow Puppet, which is a microbrewery in Livermore that's actually not too far from where HV Carter used to be, Jason.
Oh yeah.
But so they've got a good gig going. They've got a great deal. They've got a great tasting room.
Okay.
And it's right off of 580 on First Street. But they every day of the week they have a different food truck outside.
Is that a little brick building?
No. It's like an office complex.
Okay.
Anyway.
Strip mall? Yeah.
Not a strip mall, but
office,
like a
business,
like a
business district.
Exactly,
Yeah.
a big commercial building.
Commercial building.
You'd be surprised how many badass
warehouses.
breweries are like that.
Warehouses.
Well, but they've got a beer there that's based. It's called the Rubicon, something Rubicon. That it's anyway. The name sounds great because we wheel on the
So you
Rubicon.
gravitated towards that one?
Yeah.
And so I tried that, and it's a goddamn good beer. You know, it really is. So I'm going to swing by there this week and pick up another 4-pack of their beers, but or maybe a couple 4-packs of them. But they did well, and I think they've got a good formula. They've got a nice, brightly lit, exciting, energetic tasting room, and they have different food trucks outside every day of the week.
I love that when they have food trucks.
And whatever, but these badass burgers, or they might have a burrito night or whatever. So, but I imagine that's the same formula that's happening around the country with all these different microbreweries regionally. Whether it's up in the Pacific Northwest, West Coast, South. Whatever. I mean, so it's good stuff.
The only problem that comes with that of having all these awesome breweries and stuff everywhere is there's a lot of shit amongst the legends, and you have to weed your way through it sometimes.
True.
Like we'll go to areas where when we filmed Brotherhood of Brew, we got really lucky because we were referred to by a lot of the breweries, and like the one we went to Montana. I'm telling you, man, that's one of the few states we've been to where every goddamn brewery we went to, even the ones we didn't film at, we just went into and see how the beer was, crushed. I don't know what is in the fucking water up there, but it is. Jesus, man, they make some good goddamn beer.
Really?
Oregon's pretty similar,
Yeah.
man. It's hard to make. There's some cookie cutters up there that just they make their money by being as in many stores with their cans as possible, and they don't barrel age. They don't do that. I mean, one of my best friends works for one of them, and it's good beer. It's crushable. It's good boat beer, but you're not going to be
beer.
you're not going to be telling everybody, hey,
Sure.
you need to drink. It's not this, right? It's not
No.
this.
Well, this isn't an everyday beer.
No, it's not either. But these guys, every damn thing they make is amazing. I mean, have you ever had a bad Deschutes? Because I have.
No.
You know, in Fremont's the same way. Their IPAs are phenomenal. Their sours are phenomenal.
I got a great Deschutes story. So this is early in there when they were just a small little brewery and they weren't mainstream like they are now. We went up there skiing at Mount Bachelor.
Yeah.
And we took the train, Amtrak, from San Jose, California,
It's such a cool
to
trip.
Chemult, Oregon.
Yeah,
Chemult?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you hop in a van or a taxi cab or whatever and
Go an hour
go
north,
another hour up to.
Oh, it's an Uber.
Best milkshake I've ever had in my life since Chemult.
Yeah, oh, in
It's
Chemult?
not there anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the little place burnt down.
So, anyways, so we get there and we rented a great house for a ridiculously low price. Had a hot tub. I mean, it was just awesome. And so, you know, one of my things, our group was like, hey, we got to go to Deschutes Brewing. So we went there. And we're going through all their different beers, and they had Three Sisters, which is the name of the mountains right there. Three Sisters Cask. And they had it.
Man, that's a long time ago.
That's what I'm saying. So I knew you would
haven't heard
appreciate
that
this
in a
story,
long
right?
time.
And it was on the bar, you know, and it's served at room temperature, and they physically pump it out by pulling the tap handle. The tap handle was a pump.
Okay.
And so it's like, this is as pure as it gets right here, okay? And so they, you know, and they'd always serve it in a smaller glass because the alcohol content was higher. And my cousin and I look at each other after we taste this and go, holy heck, this is some of the best beer, you know, we've had to date. And so anytime Scott, that totally turned me on to Scotch ales at that point. Anytime I see a Scotch Scotch ale on a menu, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to try it. But I will never forget that moment that they were just drawing it right off of the, you know, just like in you know, the Guinnesses and stuff there. Man, freaking awesome.
Yep. Yeah, one of the best beers I've had since the pandemic started. And I've had some really good sour smoothies because that was real hot last summer. But we went up to Bend, and I think it was right before the pandemic started. It was a draft only. They mixed their Black Butte Porter with, and they aged it in, I think the Abyss barrels.
Oh, wow.
And they called it something. It was called Obsidian Butte. I think.
Obsidian, yeah.
Oh my God. It was this smoky porter with like a whiskey bite. Oh my God. It was phenomenal. And I was like, are you bottling this? They're like, yeah. And then they didn't because of the pandemic. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, we need to go back up. And I was like, we should go up because, you know, our family have a house there on the river, just south of Sun River. And you know, and I grew up there in Bend. That's where I'm from.
Right.
And I was like, we need to go back up. She's like, you just want to go up for that beer, don't you?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
go snowboarding, but I also want to go for the beer. And
Right.
And we ended up going back, and I bought like 3 crowlers, and I think one went bad. And I was like, because they have like a 3 or 4 day
Sure. Yeah, you can't.
span. And I'm like trying to crush 32 ounces of like 10-11% beer.
No.
It's tough.
Yeah.
And
By yourself?
then I'm useless. Plus we have a baby at that time, you know, she's pregnant. And, you know, because we had a baby during COVID. We found out, I think, 2 or 3 weeks before COVID hit, before all this stuff hit, that we were pregnant, and we'd been planning it.
You know how that happens, right?
What? Yeah, I didn't pull out.
Okay.
Yeah. only my couch pulls out in my house. I have 3 kids.
I have three.
heard
I
that
have
one.
3 children also.
Yeah,
so-
right. Yeah. I fucked up on after the second one. I should have just cut it. But no. I have an awesome little son. He just turned 10 months old. His name's
Great.
Clark, after Clark Griswold.
I was going to say, is it after Clark Griswold?
I don't know how it happened.
How'd your wife let that go?
She likes the name Clark.
Oh,
and so
perfect.
when my daughter was in daycare, her first year, I think she was like maybe a year or 2. It was before my son Dean was born. There was a little baby in there named Clark, and I was like, God, that's a great name. And she's like, you only like it because of Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Because of Clark Griswold. And I was like, because there's a funny pic. If you go far back enough on my IG page, you'll see that my son, my first son, my second kid, Dean, he was born September 6th in 2016. And so that following, he was 2 months old when Halloween came around, and I dressed as Clark Griswold. So I had the Chicago Bears hat, I had the vest and the flannel.
Yeah.
And then over my shoulders, I had Christmas lights.
Perfect.
And then my son, I dressed him up as Cousin Eddie. So he was in a robe We found a baby, like the little Russian bear hat, right?
That's
with the
perfect,
side
yeah.
ears. And then I
Shitter's
went,
full, Clark.
yeah. And then I got black socks and pulled them up, right? And then I went and got out of my garage. I had some, what is it? The wire loom.
Yeah.
To make it look like the
The
shitter hose and put it in his hand, and he just gripped
that's
it.
awesome.
And so that was our costume, man.
That's awesome.
And it's a tradition in our family. We watch it every year. I even have like people have bought me like, I have like 3 different sizes of the station wagon. I have the moose cups.
Yeah.
I have it all.
Everybody.
And like her cousins had never seen it, so I bought them the movies for
my
Christmas. And they're culturally backwards.
Yeah.
But
Come on,
it's
man.
It's Topanga.
So say no more.
Yeah. So, that was the thing. And I was like, if we ever have a son, it's, first we named Dean for a lot of reasons and it fits him now. But we never find out what we're going to have. We never found out gender until it was born on all 3.
I agree with you on
So
that.
you have 2 names in waiting?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it was a girl, we were going to name her Sloan.
Oh.
And then with an E.
Well, that's
on the
from
end.
Ferris Bueller's
from
Day
Ferris Bueller's Day Out.
Oh yeah, I never even realized that. Yeah. Huh.
Sloan.
I forgot about that.
You bring me a body. You show me a body.
And then we had Clark. And it came down to Graham or Clark. And then I have a friend named Graham, so I was like, probably not gonna
Clark's
work.
better.
But we came Clark, and then like all my family was like, how the hell did you pull that off?
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't mention Clark Griswold. And she's like, then Christmas came around, she's like,
Damn it. Damn it.
She's like, good thing he is so goddamn cute.
Yeah.
So that's funny. I mean, this is a different reference, but I'm a Star Trek fan, huge Star Trek fan.
Gotcha.
And my third child is a
Spock.
No, she's a little. She's not little anymore. She's 15, but her name is Miranda, and she's named after one of the characters from one of my favorite episodes of Star Trek.
Does she know that?
The original series. She does.
Oh. She's
does.
okay with that?
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
It's a great name.
Goes off the tongue better than Worf.
Yeah.
Right. And it's every once in a while I'll be like, you want to be called Mandy? She's like, no, I want to be called Miranda.
Yeah.
It's like, good. That's good. It's a good check.
Good.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's I don't know how the hell I pulled Clark off.
That's great.
It worked though.
Clark Kent could have worked that way too.
A bunch of different ways.
Superman. Yeah, he's gonna be able to. He'll be able to use a bunch of it, and it's funny too because he could really do like he could call himself CH.
Yeah.
And because his middle name's Howell.
Oh.
And here's a weird thing.
Thurston Howell.
CC.
So her grandmother's maiden name is Howell.
Oh.
And so is mine.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, obviously no relation because her great grandmother, her grandmother is black and mine's white as it comes. So there's definitely probably not any relationship there. But,
hey, you never know nowadays.
I know, right?
You never know.
Because when we found out, I was like, fucking really? I was like, that's weird. I was like, I'm from Oregon, but not that part of Oregon.
Wow.
But, luckily she's half black, so it's makes my life a little easier on that end. But yeah, so we were like, okay, so how do we because the middle name thing has always been like one of those like how do we tie in both families, right? And so I was like, cool, Howell. But I was like, every time I think Howell, I think of fucking Gilligan's Island.
Thurston Howell.
Yeah, Thurston Howell.
Yes, for
This
sure.
little bastard's gonna be like Howell Coxen.
Yeah.
I was like, we're gonna have this pompous little ass running around. His mom's a fucking lawyer. His dad's into
marry a
film.
woman named
those are
Lovey.
good initials.
He's married a woman named Lovey. Hey, Lovey,
Yeah.
Lovey.
Talk. Yeah, don't never move his like bottom jaw to talk.
Bottom two.
Yeah. Just keep his teeth together when he talks. Yeah.
Lovey. Lovey.
Dick.
Thurston Howell the third.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
So I got to ask you guys a question.
Okay.
Oh, boy,
I'd
here
be
we
doing
go.
myself a disservice if I didn't do
Yes.
this because, and I know you do this with wine, but we're gonna kind of come back around with whiskey here.
Okay.
Both of you guys have $100 bill.
Okay.
What bottle of whiskey do you buy?
Interesting.
And it can't be Old Elk.
No,
Okay.
it's not going to be all
Okay.
dog.
So you got $100.
You got $100. You can go anywhere in the world. It can be bourbon. It can be rye. It can be Scotch.
So is this supposed to be what the normal price of the bourbon should be?
Yeah, not on sale.
Sure. Yeah. Not on sale or
Not
anything.
a-
Just
not a-
on
Or
the
not
shelf.
cult priced?
No.
Nope. Not
$100.
Not having to bend over for anybody. Not having to
good.
having to end somewhere. Just any
and
idiot.
And you can get this bottle. I mean, it's not one of those bottles that you have to that are way overpriced. So like the
No.
retail price.
Retail price. Normal everyday retail price.
That's good because that opens.
That's a great
There's one
question.
that comes to mind right away, and that would be Blanton's.
Oh my God.
Retail price is $60, $70.
I just bought Blanton single barrel the other day.
Yeah.
That's like 170.
Yeah. So
Good stuff too.
let me think here for a minute.
Speaking of which, Blanton has been nearly impossible to find during the pandemic.
That's
so
stupid.
bad. I found. Well, I talked about it on the podcast. 3 bottles at Safeway?
Even Weller's. I had to go to
No,
fucking
you
Eureka or
found Old
Wairika
Elk.
for Weller's.
You found Old
Yeah.
Elk at Safeway.
Well, no, but I found.
What?
No, I did, but the Blantons I found at Safeway. I went in when the pandemic. This
that was
like,
months ago.
Well, it was during the pandemic, and I went in for toilet paper because I saw people walking out with cases. Well, not cases, but a full.
Oh yeah,
thing
during
of
the toilet paper, the
Yeah.
great toilet paper depression.
So I had to pick up
When shit hit the fan.
our blueprint printer. I went to pick up plans, and I see people walking out of the store with toilet paper, and I was running low. I was like, okay, this could be an emergency here. And so I went in, and the first thing I do whenever I go into a Safeway is go check and see if there's any Blantons or anything
Check the
good
glass
in the
case.
glass case.
Yep.
And they had not 1, not 2, but 3 bottles of Blantons sitting there in the case.
And if you bought a carrier,
If you buy 6 or more, then you get another 10% off.
And that goes with the hard alcohol too?
Yes.
I thought it was just wine.
Nope. It works for that's why Safeway is one of the best places, or one of these, whatever it's one of the best places, and they're not going to mark it up. It's just like Bevmo or Total Wine, Safeway. They're not going to do the Colt markup local liquor store deal on you.
right.
So I went in there, mind you, it's like 9:00 in the morning, and I saw them in the case. I'm like, oh my!
Did you do this?
God. I did. So I'm like. I run up to, I literally ran to
Double
customer
take?
service, and I go, I need the key. I need somebody with the key to the.
Calm down,
to the
sir.
case.
Calm down.
Stop shaking.
Like, no, I'm good. And so ran over there, and the manager opens it up, and he hands me a bottle, and I say, "Can I get the other 2?" He goes, "Sure." And I said, "If I buy 3 more bottles, I get the extra 10%." He goes, "That's correct." So now the price just keeps going down, right? So I got some Angel's Envy. I forget the other 2 bottles I talked about on the
Angel's
podcast.
Envy is something I haven't tried yet.
Yeah, it's good.
Super
it's
good.
Another
That's what I
good.
heard. It's really good.
It's another good one. I think I might have bought Basil Hayden too. That's the
might have been an
Sauvignon
Eagle
Blanc
Rare
of
in there, too.
Yeah, there might have been Eagle Rare, whatever. But anyways, I got so excited and went immediately to the check stand, and I didn't even buy the toilet paper. So
Where he gets there, he's got 3 bottles in his hand, and the last person's running out with toilet paper. Fuck.
I don't need toilet paper now.
but I have been lucky. I've walked into Bevmo and saw a bottle on the shelf and bought it, and it you just got to keep searching. It's that whiskey hunt, right?
I saw 1 bottle, and I was in Wairika. I was coming back home when I bought the Wagoneer. And there's that, when you're coming down, I don't know how often you come down I-5, but it's that.
Not very often.
It's that, yeah. It's that, it says, or was it Liquor Liquidators? It's
Oh.
a big bullet or big billboard right when you come into Wairika.
Okay.
And it's actually a really great spot. I mean, they have fucking everything from Pappies to, all the rare shit.
Road trip.
Yeah.
And $1,600
Bring
a
your
bottle, I think,
wallet.
for Pappies.
Bring your wallet.
Whoa.
Listen,
See?
1,600
See?
what?
a bottle for Pappy's, what
Yeah.
they were asking for. But I noticed everything when I
What
started
year?
talking to her. I think that's the 25
I hope
year.
so. I hope it was the
I
Better be
don't
the
think it's the
25
15,
year.
but every price they have on their high end shit in the glass is negotiable.
Wow.
They'll barter with you.
Okay,
And so I
interesting.
went in there and I can't remember what I was going for. I was going for something and that they didn't have it. Oh no, I went in for Old Elk Rye. They had it, which they have
yeah.
all Old Elks.
Yeah.
And so I get the Old Elk Rye and I was like, cool, I have the bourbon. It's fucking awesome. I want to try the rye.
Right.
And so I go in there and then I look at it and I was like, damn, Pappy, 1,600. I was like, that's a bit steep. And I've had Pappy's before. I've had the 15 year, which I think is better than the 24.
Yeah.
But I haven't had 10 year yet. But
I've had
I was-
10, 12, and 15. I haven't
They
had
had like
25.
15 types of Whistle Pig. They had all the
Whistle
generals.
Pig's
They
good.
had like
Yeah.
everything you can think of. And then they had this one case of all Weller. And I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, give me the Weller 12.
Yeah.
And so I bought that and it was like $120, I think,
Did
which
the
I probably
Antique
paid
107?
$10. Yes. Yes, they did. Every bottle Weller you can think of. I mean, it was just one case of all
Foolproof.
Weller. And so
Shit.
I got the Weller 12. I've got I got the rye, and they had like this barrel, like a wine barrel or whiskey barrel, and then all around the top was all Blanton's.
Oh wow!
And I was like, maybe I should get Blanton's. I was like, fuck it, I'm already spending like 100 or $200. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get what I have, right? And I think I took a picture and I fucking tagged you guys in it.
Yeah,
it was like, no, it was in my Raptor. That's right. It was on the. I was getting a dog. I went and bought a dog. And it was a half wolf and something else. I ended up having to take it back. He was aggressive as shit.
Oh no!
So, anyways,
imagine that.
Yeah, right. When you don't know, but anyways, I took a picture and I tagged you guys on the console. But then I got home and I was like, cool, I can find Blanton's anywhere, right?
No,
this was December last year, or maybe it was November, and I went into every store, every liquor store in Oakland and Alameda. They're like, we've been sold out of Blanton's. It sells out every time. So I think last week I was like, no, 2 days ago, I stopped in to a place called Alameda Cellars, and he's like, hey, you still looking for Blanton's? And I'm like, fuck yeah. He's like, I got one. I was like, I own it.
There we go.
I was like, give it to me. He's like, $170. I was
What?
Like,
yeah. So a friend of mine just paid $160 for one.
Yeah.
In LA. I mean, it is what it is.
This is the best 170 fucking bucks I ever had in a fucking glass.
So yeah. So exactly. And I mean, because you wouldn't let me choose Old Elk value bang for the buck, I think. But I'll tell you what, we just did a tasting. Chris hasn't. Do you have an answer yet for yours, or do you want me to tell the story?
Go ahead, tell the story.
Okay, so think about your answer because you haven't answered Jeff's question yet.
Well, neither of us has.
Well, no, I went with Blanton's. Final answer.
Ruined my answer.
Locked it. Oh, is that your answer? Oh, I could pick another one.
No, it's all right. I got more.
We did a blind tasting, and it's a bonus episode that's going to air. And we had friends pour out everything. I had nobody knew what they were except for the two wives that did this. Yes, okay. The pourer, and just little taste. And so you weren't influenced by a price of the bottle itself, the label, any of that stuff was totally out. It was just what was in your glass to try. And $18.99 bottle from Costco.
Get the fuck out of here.
Was leading the pack
like
each
a Kirkland
time.
Band or what?
Kirkland single barrel frickin' bourbon. It's from Boston Barton. It's from Barton Distillery, which does some great stuff. I kid you not, Jeff, and that's why I love doing blind tastings with wine and stuff. This was the first time we did it with whiskey, and it was like and it's a liter too. It's not a 750.
It's the big boy.
It's not the 1.75, but it's a liter. Liter of cola.
Not a handle.
Liter of cola, and I have some a little bit left for you to try before you leave, but it is unbelievable for bang for the buck value. And I'm sitting there going, "Are you kidding me?" And the first time, it was unanimous. It was our number 2 or number 3 on it was number 3 on the first one.
It was number 3.
Top 3 out of 6. And then they put it into the mix because she goes, Jason, I want to put one from the original tasting, from 2 days ago into this tasting. I go, absolutely. And I said, don't tell me what it is. I don't want to know. And she put that back into the mix, and everybody picked it of their top 3 again.
It was in the top 3.
That's fucking awesome.
And it was up against the first one, $100, $100 bottle won it. We all liked it, and it was stupid good. But Old Elk was right there at number 2, and then this Kirkland at number 3.
Yeah. Small batch.
Incredible. So anyways, that again, looking for bangs for the buck and bargains, that's a great way you get somebody with a nice collection and just see what your palate is. Because people get swayed by, exactly. Oh, Blanton's. I heard everybody talk about Blanton. Blanton. It's freaking awesome.
Man.
Exactly.
Blanton's
same
thing.
But Blanton's backs it up. It is very good. And if you get it for the $60, $70 range, I think it's great. You paid $170. I don't think think that's terrible. It's still a good
market
bottle
right now.
It's
right?
still a good bottle.
It's Ford Raptor price.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, just be
hashtag
selective
Chris
about
money.
who you share it with. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Don't give a shit. Me, myself, and I.
Well, that's it. And if you enjoy it, it's fine. It's
I almost
priceless.
brought some, but I was like, that's like fucking bringing
You're bringing
like bringing
sand to the
firewood
beach.
to a wildfire.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's a bad analogy right now.
Jeez,
Jeez,
too soon.
too soon.
Too soon, for sure.
But yeah.
So
Anyways, okay. So do you have an answer, Chris?
I do.
Okay, here we go.
Because it's tough to find and should be affordable.
Yeah.
I haven't had Eagle Rare in my collection. in a
Oh,
while,
wow.
But it's Eagle Rare 10.
Eagle Rare 10.
Oh, shit.
Okay, yeah.
That's hard to find.
What's
dude.
that? What's that go for?
It
Retail.
should be in the $70
Is
range.
it in that 70? Okay. Eagle
Should
Rare's
be.
good.
Eagle Rare should be 45 to 50-ish. The 10 should be in the 75 to 80.
We mentioned it. I called it on the podcast earlier this year. I said, Eagle Rare, go out and buy it because it is becoming rare. It's becoming known now.
It's tough to
Well,
find.
you have that docuseries Heist that came out about it. That's making. I mean, it's what it did for Pappy.
Yeah.
So Pappy. I think Pappy. I've paid low money for Pappy. In Vegas, almost every time I go to Vegas, because I used to get paid when I worked for that car key place, I'd go out there and they would give us, I think our allowance was like $101 a day for meals.
Okay.
So I would just
Per
eat
diem.
I would just bring my own food in a cooler, and then I just have a bomb ass steak dinner. like the number 9 at Palms. Or
Right.
I'd go over to Chef
the 9.
Andres place over, at the other place downtown. Here, you guys all want to know a fucking hidden gem in Vegas that you
Go.
will never understand. And I found this by accident in 2005. I was on the first date with my wife ever. We met in Vegas. Well, I sold her mom a car
Oh, my gosh.
in 2005. I sold her a Volvo. And then like 2 weeks later, actually, she hadn't even bought anything from me yet. 2 weeks after I had met with her, she came back and she's like, I was like, hey, Carrie, how you doing? And she's like, I was like, you here to, I don't have anything new. You here to make an order or something? She's like, no, this is for you. This is from my daughter. Email her. She's interested, and just walks away. And it was her email address.
Oh my
and this
gosh.
is in 2005. And I was like, okay. So I emailed her. I was like, hey, and if you go backwards, I really made an ass out of myself when I first met her. I thought when they pulled up in a Range Rover, and everyone was just like, oh, it's just daughter and wife, husband's not here. She's not gonna be able to make her own decision. Totally fucking judge the book by its cover, right? We call it qualifying somebody.
Yeah.
And you just don't fucking do that. And so I was bored out of my skull. And I was like, fuck it, I'll write you, I'll go and talk to him. We called it upping a customer. You go up them. And I see the older lady and then this like gorgeous girl, but she looks like she's 17. So I'm just like, I'm not going to go down that road.
Don't
So I go
touch.
up and I'm talking and the mom's super fucking cool. And we're talking about cars. I noticed this chick knows her cars, right? So we're talking about cars, and then we sit down and for like an hour, we talk about the European Euro delivery through Volvo, which you can fly to Gothenburg, Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
And you can watch it coming off of the assembly line. You get to go drive it for 3 days. You can even spend an extra little bit of money and drive it around Nuremberg.
Oh, Nuremberg. Yeah.
Can't even talk right now. Derpy derp. Schmorgity borgs.
Dorski.
So, and then you fly back home, and 45
Bunch
days
of old
later,
fucks.
it's at the dealership, and you save 8 to 13%. So we're talking about that, and I look at her, and she's bored out of her fucking skull, and I'm just
Right.
like, hey, one day you'll be doing this, and she's like, how old do you think I am? And I was like, I don't know, 16, 17. She's all, I'm 23, asshole.
Oh, my
And I'm
gosh.
23 at the same time.
Oh.
I was like, oh, well, excuse me while I take my shoe off and put it in my mouth.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks later, her mom gives me the thing with the email.
Oh, my gosh.
And it says email her. So I email her from home because back then you couldn't email
Sure.
from a phone.
Sure.
And I was like, hey, how's it going? This is Jeff. I met you at, this dealership.
Sold your mom a car.
And I hadn't yet sold
Oh,
her mom
not
a
yet?
car. And your mom gave me your email, and she's like, yeah, I really liked you. And, anyways, we start talking for weeks. And that turns into we're on the phone every night. We're talking. And I'm saying, hey, do you want to go on a date?
She knew you were a car salesman, right?
Yeah, right. And she did know. And back then I was in good shape and drove a nice car and fucking looked good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So made a lot of money. So anyways, I was like, hey, my mom has a fucking timeshare in Vegas. She doesn't use it. I'm going to go use it. You want to meet me in Vegas? And she was going to college at Pomona and in Claremont in Southern California. And I was like, it's a 2-hour drive for her.
Yeah.
And so let's meet. And I was like, it's a 2-bedroom apartment. If we don't click, you have your own room. I have my own room and whatever. And fucking, what has it been? 16 years later, we're still together.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah. Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
My mom's been divorced 6 times, so I'm trying not to go down that route.
Holy heck.
Yeah.
Shit.
I told her, if you keep doing it, you're not going to win something.
Legit?
I mean, it's like
6 times legit?
Yeah, 6 times legit. Yeah.
I mean, it's
My
like after the
dad's been
3rd
divorced
time, you
twice.
gotta.
Yeah, my grandmother's like 5, I think. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's like a going through thing, and yeah. So I was like, yeah, it's a big thing in my family. I was like, I'm just not divorcing. That's just it. If it ever came to that point, which I don't ever think it will, because we're awesome together. But I was like, I'm never doing it again. After that, I was like, just cut the fucking cord.
Oh my God.
Yeah, isn't that
I
crazy?
should have told my dad that, but yeah. whatever.
Yeah.
The only person that's ever had a longer marriage than me in my family, I think, is my aunt, who's been married since I was like 2 or 3 years old. To the same husband, and they were both Master Chiefs in the Coast Guard together and everything.
Wow, okay.
But back up to that hidden gem. So we met on our first date in Vegas. It was our first date. She picked me up at the airport. We've been dating ever since, right? Well, the first night we're at this place called Casino Royale, which is like next to Harrah's. It's this fucking shithole, right?
Harrah's even
Yeah.
there
It's actually
anymore?
pretty nice, but
It is.
this place, and they just recently did it, so it's a lot nicer, right? But it's really small. It's next to literally next to White Castle, and Harrah's on the other side. So, and people walk right by it not knowing, but it has like $5 minimum tables. And I didn't have a lot. I mean, I had money back then, but I was like, didn't know how to gamble at all. I watched Texas Hold'em on TV, which was big at the time.
Yep.
And I knew how to play that, but I didn't know how to play craps. I only knew roulette for somewhat, but I sat down at a roulette table. I think we played for 5 hours off of $20, which is the worst odds in Vegas. And somehow we ended up leaving with $200.
No kidding.
Yeah,
So I was
that's
like,
great.
fuck, this is awesome. I've never lost at roulette, by the way.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how the fuck I do it.
Oh my God. That's so random.
So anyways, upstairs is a restaurant. I was like, hey, let's go get something to eat. It's a fucking Outback Steakhouse. It's the only one in the country that serves prime meat. But
Really?
they serve it at regular Outback prices. The
What?
meat is fucking phenomenal.
What?
You get to see your meat if you want to. So I went up there. I bought a bone-in ribeye with
bone-in ribeye.
a bone-in ribeye with lobster, with a fucking giant baked potato and a fucking wedge salad, and I think you're in at like $40.
Oh my gosh.
And it's real prime meat, dude. I'm telling you right now, you don't even need a fucking knife to cut it.
No kidding.
No, it's just one of those hidden gems in Vegas. Like, they've got them. There's
Wow.
every once in a while,
there
you're
are.
just like, you got to know it, right?
There's some in strip malls that we've talked about, and then Hugo Cellar was a great
Hugo
one that
Cellar
we did
and-
during SEMA and
And then the
stuff.
smoking pig or whatever that.
Oh, yeah. Rolling smoke.
Another one for many years was it Dilly's? That's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Gillies.
Gillies.
Yeah.
Gillies.
That was another one. They
Yeah.
demolished it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That was a good spot. And
Yep.
yeah, it's just those weird spots.
Yeah.
What was the
Fine.
name of what was that steakhouse we ate at that was in that like not dilapidated, but off the strip hotel? Wasn't Fremont Street. It was a few years back. It was
Well, it was like a Rat Pack type.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, what was the
Themed.
name of that place?
it was great.
It was recently kind of somewhat renovated, the restaurant, but yeah, that was good chow.
Yeah, good.
I mentioned SEMA real quick. So you're going to go to SEMA, Jeff?
Yeah, I'll be at SEMA this year. So far, everything right now is planned to go. I don't see anything happening where it's going to change any, but yeah, I should. I'm scheduled to be there. The Wagoneer's supposed to be there.
Okay. Oh, good.
That's the unveiling of the Wagoneer.
Okay, right on. Yeah, because we were kind of talking about a pre-show here, and there's some big vendors that are not going to be there this year.
Big vendors. Lear told us they're not going to be there. KC is not planning to be there.
Yeah, and it's interesting. This COVID thing, good, bad, or indifferent, has opened the eyes of some of these companies and go, we don't need to spend all that money. We can.
It's a lot of money too.
It is a lot of money,
and they can spend it on influencers and social media advertising that cost pennies on the dollar.
Sure.
yeah.
And but the networking aspect and being able to be at that show, and just meeting all these different people and talking to these people that whatever their personal expertise is pretty cool.
It's invaluable to people like me.
Yeah, and then being able to see products firsthand, any new stuff that's hitting the market. I mean, yeah, the touch feel
the
aspect of
shiny
it.
Stuff. I
Yeah,
like to see the shiny stuff.
so I don't know. We've been talking about
the
it.
Bluetooth front drive lines and those big
Yeah,
old
yeah,
bro
yeah.
trucks.
The bro dozers.
Do you guys follow that?
Yeah.
SEMA fails.
Yeah, SEMA
Instagram?
fails.
Yeah.
Fucking best.
It's so funny, and you do. You know, I've been, I don't know, 8-9 times or whatever, and it's great. And we obviously missed it the last couple of years here, but I think I'm on the fence whether we go or not. Been talking
see.
to everybody, and
Well, if it's a deciding factor, if you guys want to go and it gets to be where you guys don't like it, I'll take you guys out and we'll go to Las Vegas Elite Off Road. I'll take you guys out and side by sides with my buddy out there.
oh, there you go.
Well, there it
See,
is.
That's the one
There
we
you
went
go.
episode 3, Brotherhood
oh
of
yeah,
Brew.
yeah. Okay, there you go.
Jeff's the shit, man. That is, not only is it super duper fun, you get to really experience stuff, but god damn it, it's so cool out there.
Yeah,
You got jets flying over you from
Oh,
Nellis Air
yeah.
Force Base. You can see the skyline, and it's the only dunes I've ever been to where you go into sand, then go into dirt or
Yeah.
rock canyons, and then you come back out and you're hard clay.
Yeah.
It's, just
Wow.
it's so cool.
wow,
Cool.
Kind of sounds like King of the Hammers.
We'll see.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I know Tyler's going from Snail Trail 4x4 to show off his.
Well, his Morflate's getting featured in a booth because of one of, I don't know, some guys got it, his vehicle in the Dana Detroit booth, I think.
Wagoneer.
Yeah, is it a Wagoneer?
Mine.
Oh, is it yours? Are you the
Sponsors
one
us.
that's?
No, it's somebody else's.
Oh.
Probably, but it'll be in the Wagoneer.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
sweet.
so he partnered with us about a year ago.
Oh,
Or right after, or it was no, I partnered with him. I was the first person I think to ever make a video with his Morflate. It was with my Ram when we were in Death Valley.
Okay,
So if you go back, so it's probably like, it's one of the first videos I ever did. So it was literally the week we found out COVID was going. I
Yeah.
was driving in my Ram. I think I was right before Tehachapi and getting ready to go over the Tehachapi grade, and it was like snowing.
oh yeah,
And I had to stop at a Walmart. My wife's like, if you go inside, try not to be around people because they just
Don't
posted
breathe.
this thing. There's
Right.
there's this like virus that's coming out.
Right.
Please don't be around people. And obviously we're fine. But I had to go get groceries and a part for my Blackstone grill. I had forgot, so I couldn't actually attach any
Squaddle.
fucking fuel to it. So we found out about the pandemic during all that, but gotta forget where I was going with this. But
So
that's the
SEMA,
first time
so your Wagoneer is going to have the Morflate on it.
it'll have all the gear, so it'll be the few times that a tent will be on top of it. So
Wow.
it'll have the Free Spirit Recreation Odyssey tent. It's a hard top 2-person clamshell tent that'll be on the top of it. It's actually almost the perfect length at the top of the Wagoneer.
okay.
It's like 90 inches, I think. And I'll have the power tank in the back. It'll have the Morflate attached to it during the show. It has, our BFGs. I'm keeping stock rims because they just look so good on it. And we're having them repainted. And that, basically I have all of our sponsor stuff on it. The only thing worn on it this time is the hubs because I'm not changing the front.
Okay.
I don't want to change a bumper.
Yeah.
So, and you can't hide anything in those things. They're so compact for how
No,
big they are.
it's a tiny front,
Especially with that big old 5.7.
it's chrome
There's
bumper
not-
and everything.
We ended up like all the stuff that's coming into it. We have a 1/4 inch to play with.
Wow.
Jesus.
Wow.
Well, that's exciting.
So you gave us some bags of some beautiful coffee here.
Yes.
You want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, so I'm my company. I say and I guess it's me because it's just me in the company. Besides, my camera guys and stuff.
Right.
Everybody's all contracted in. But yeah, Sycan Media runs the sales and marketing for Got Your Six Coffee,
Right
which
on.
is a veteran-owned and operated company. I'm the only non-veteran in it besides Eric's wife. We run the sales and marketing side of things, but we're getting ready to. I leave this weekend, which I think this airs 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
But we're going to the Overland Expo, and they call it the Mountain West, which is in Loveland, Colorado.
Right.
So did they hand you, is it true that they hand you a pair of Crocs and some traction boards when you walk into the expo?
I think they do. I have to learn how to bypass it first to try to get around it. I think I have to use the scuttle to wield it myself through it.
Wow.
Oh, we love our Overlanders.
I know, right? That's my least favorite part about Overland Expos. I actually don't. I went to Flagstaff, I think one of the first years that happened, and it was too much for me, man. It's just, I love this. We call it car camping and off-roading, right?
Right.
Even the police don't.
Yeah,
like it.
yeah.
I'm gonna arrest my ass. I'm talking shit about Overlanders.
Exactly.
Right?
It's the Overland Police. It's probably because I posted something on Facebook. I'm on a 30-day ban for posting a picture of a man grabbing his nipples. So,
oh really?
Yeah, you remember Waterboy? You remember the guy who grabs his nipples?
Yeah.
I posted that up because one of my buddies lives in Mississippi. I was like, you Cajun fuck, and put that up, and it was sexual. Oh my gosh. Content or something like that. So I'm banned for 30 days.
Oh my
on
gosh.
Facebook.
Yeah.
And you're in
the one before
Facebook jail.
The
Doing
one
a great job, Zuckerberg. Good job.
Thanks. Then the one before that was because I told a friend I was going to cut him. I said, I'll cut you. And I got fucking banned for 7 days on that one.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah. But anyways,
Facebook jail.
Yeah, we run the sales and marketing for them. Eric and I, if you go back far enough, we did 2 episodes with him on Brotherhood of Brew.
Yeah.
The 2 final episodes. And then we did the bonus 8 after that with my best friend, who's going to be the new co-host.
Okay.
Joe Wallace. And anyways, I loved his mission so much. And it was like, man, it was so special to be a part of that episode, or both of those episodes, and to see the change he's making. And I know there's a lot of like veteran coffee companies out there like Black Rifle and all these other ones. None of them do what he's doing. And that's, they don't stop at veterans. They stop at, or they don't stop at all.
Continue.
It's firefighters, law enforcement, first responders, basically anybody that responds to a disaster. And we support teams like, Team Overland, which is veteran based. They take veterans out. Team 5, which takes veterans out. We just did a collaboration that with Fall River Brewing Company out of Reading, and we were able to raise up $2,500 to where we donated all of that portion to the Cal Fire Coffee for wildfire season. So they have a year subscription with us for free of coffee for the next 5 years for full Cal Fire.
Excellent.
And then after that, we teamed up with another one called Welcome Home Brewing out of they're going to kill me for this, but it's in the Denver area of Colorado. We're actually going to go up and meet them. So 2 cops got kicked out of a Starbucks coffee for being cops. And we teamed up with a brewery there that is a police officer owned brewery. And we donated, I think, 50 pounds of coffee.
Wow. And
all the proceeds that went from that per like $1 per pint went towards giving that whole precinct a year's free supply of coffee.
Wow.
Super
cool.
The 2 officers that got kicked out, we are going up there to meet them, and we're giving them a kit that will go in the back of their car where they can brew coffee wherever they are.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a latte machine?
No. little pour over operation,
they can just
grinder,
have
the
a
whole
latte
thing.
coffee,
Yeah,
whatever they want.
Right.
But so got your 6. It's it's up and coming. We're the little guy in a field of a ton of other veteran owned coffee companies, and this 800-pound gorilla known as Black Rifle. But we actually do what we say. We don't get political in anything, and we stay the course. And we're actually shooting a TV show with them. I've already shot the pilot with them, which was, you could see the behind the scenes footage really of that on Brotherhood of Brew season or the episode 6 and 7. But we are shooting the second episode now. We've had to wait all of COVID for this, but we're shooting the second episode, which will be at the expo, getting to see what we do. And then we're going to be going out on trails and meeting with some firefighters and some other stuff. It's going to be really cool. We're going to be serving coffee to all the overlanders and rock crawlers that come by.
Right on.
So be able to,
Excellent.
if you see us out there, we don't know what trail we're going to be on, but I guess this is afterwards, but we're going to be doing a lot of this too, where you're just going to see us like up in Moab or somewhere. We're going to be serving coffee
post up
for free.
Yeah.
That's
and it's
awesome. Just, we like to get out. We're going to be really heavy in the overland and off-roading community. We're going to be at KOH.
Okay.
Excellent.
So, we're going to be doing some stuff there. We're looking at getting a booth, and
we'll definitely be there.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. And it's, I know I'm biased, but it's one of the reasons I agreed to come on board, and I did it for free for a long time.
Okay.
To get him into a spot where he could have a full crew, but this coffee is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it is really good.
It's good.
We've you turned us on to it, and I was pleasantly surprised, because much like anything else that I dive into, it's like, I want to learn everything about it, and man, I became a coffee snob, and then I was like, okay, got your 6 is right there.
Absolutely.
In that upper,
We're customers.
One of my go-tos now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, follow us. You can follow us. It's just Got Your Six Coffee on Instagram.
Okay.
And there's only two people. You're either talking to me or talking to the owner, Eric. If you ever DM us, and I primarily post most of the stuff up on there, or my team. And we've been growing that quite a bit along with Rogue Element.
Yeah, you posted up. I sent you the picture of the rock buggy with
thank you for that, man. That was
super
awesome.
swamper on there. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We're actually we just ran our course with Super Swamper, and we're getting ready to go and do a BFG blend.
Oh,
there you
look
go.
at that.
Yeah. So obviously Rogue Element is we're sponsored and partnered with BFG.
Okay.
And so I reached out to them, and now they're sponsoring both shows, and we kind of made it like this big. We share a lot of similar sponsors, and a lot of that has to do with me. But
Sure.
it's it's about that networking part, like what you say at SEMA. Is if you're networking and I'm controlling content from all these different locations, it makes it easy to just bring it in and make a family out of it. And it's,
Sure.
and it everybody grows together, and it makes it easier on us. It makes it easier on them.
Sure.
The dollar goes further.
Sure, absolutely. So, Got Your Six Coffee, you can go to gotyoursixcoffee.com. And, of course, you just mentioned the IG.
Yep.
And, so.
Yeah, and check out Rogue Element. The biggest thing anyone can do supporting it is follow us scene. Jesus Christ.
Follow us scene.
I've had like
It's a new
four
word.
sips of a beer.
Yeah.
I can't even talk. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. That is the absolute. Everyone always asks us, how can we support you guys?
Yeah.
We're coming out with a huge line of apparel.
Okay.
We've been working 6 months on it. So it's
Okay.
going to be a ton of badass t-shirts and hoodies and jackets and hats.
Oh, cool.
I'm wearing the one hat or prototype trucker hat now. But the YouTube thing is the biggest thing for us.
Okay.
That is the driver. We're doing 80% of our marketing and like content driven stuff is going straight to YouTube with all the algorithm changes in Instagram. We have basically said, fuck you to Facebook. We're not spending another dollar there. If anything goes to Facebook, it's only for a pass through from Instagram.
Yeah.
We're not doing anything on there, so I could give a shit less if you follow us on there or not. It means nothing. Even in marketing side of things, our sponsors don't even ask us what our Facebook numbers are anymore.
Wow.
So we're doing it's Instagram about 20% or so. I mean, we post multiple times a day. We do a bunch of stories. We're very like, if anybody asks us questions on there, we're right on it.
Yeah.
It's either me or one of my other guys. But YouTube is huge for us. And it's funny, like I think 95% of the people that watch us, which is a lot, don't subscribe to us, and it blows my mind. I'm like, fuck, man, just hit that subscribe button. It's the easiest thing, and I hate doing that because and we try not to say that in our videos. Hey, don't forget to subscribe.
It's so
and like
cliche,
and all this shit.
yeah.
I hate that shit.
Like, subscribe.
I think I did that on a first. Like, if you guys go all the way back and start watching everything in order, which doesn't matter, I think a couple times I'm like, hit subscribe, like, and maybe comment what you guys want us to do next. I stopped doing that because I realized how fucking stupid it is. And like ego wise, it's like, oh, just why don't you just climb down this ladder and let us beat you? But yeah, the subscribe part, I didn't realize how important it was at first. For us, it was about the art and like just having fun and doing stuff. But
There you go. Oh, he just subscribed.
dude, look at that. Thanks,
There
man.
you go.
Oh, see, that's the trip with our kids.
Oh, there you
So that
go.
was the second to last trip in the
Raptor.
In the Raptor. That's the first time I jumped it with my kids.
Oh,
Dude,
nice.
they fucking had a blast.
Oh, I bet.
We hit that jump doing like 50 too. And then the next
nice.
time I went back up and we launched it a couple times, but the lip had changed to where I was completely stuffing and rubbing my 37 on the inner fender liner on the approach.
Okay.
And then when we came out, it took it no problem in the landing. I didn't even stuff it in the landing.
Okay.
But I was hitting it at like 60 to 70 miles an hour.
Wow.
And on sand. But it really pissed me off because I only had the 2.5s, not the 3.0s or the live valves.
Sure.
So I wasn't really able to really push that. But I did all that with an overland setup.
Wow.
So it was a fun ride when it drove when it
was running.
engine
Just
lights.
send
Yeah.
It was a check engine light horror, man. Even the guy who bought it for me, he actually lives not far from here. I was like,
no.
I don't want to go by his house.
Yeah.
He's texted me so many times. He's like, dude, it fucking won't smog now. I was like, well, yeah, because it's tuned, dickhead. I told you that. I was like, I sold it to you before that. I told you to go smog it before then.
Yeah.
And he waited until after July when
Oh,
the smog thing
no.
switched, and now he's having issues. I was like, you're an owner, buddy. I told you. I told you you're going to get check engine lights. And 2, it's just temperamental. It's a Ford, dude. It's a Ford they released too early. And I was like, there's a reason there's a 3rd gen out, and they've taken their sweet fucking time.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, it's the one and only Ford I'll ever own.
There you go.
Wow.
All right. Well, we're running super long.
Are we?
Oh, yeah.
How long has it been? Oh, yeah. We've been going for a while
Damn, is
here.
this your longest one?
No.
No?
I think
Pretty close. But
Well, so anyways, guys.
So
how many more minutes?
how do we get a hold of you, Jeff? How do our listeners get a hold of you?
So at Rogue, God damn, I can't talk to you. Maybe it's lack of water or something. At Rogue Element Adventure on Instagram.
Okay.
If you want to just follow me, I'm at Filthy McJeffro.
Yeah.
Filthy
McJeffro.
It's been my
Yeah.
nickname since high school.
Yeah.
I thought we thought about doing a pro wrestling thing in high school, and it was my name, Filthy McJeffy. Filthy McJeffy, but then it turned into Jeffro because Jeffy sounds funky.
Perfect.
Anyways, youtube.com/Rogue Element. And that's the best way to get a hold of us, or rogueelementfilms.net. You'll see a lot of our stuff on there. That's where our new clothing line and swag and all that stuff will be. You can find drink tanks, growlers, and cups and stuff on there right now. But then we'll have, I think we're launching about 20 to 30 different types of T-shirts, and then we'll have hats and all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
And then, keep your fingers crossed for us and good thoughts that we maybe Netflix picks up our pilot episode.
cool.
It's going to Sundance Film Festival. We just got we got the notice that it's going.
So do you go to that, or
Oh fuck yeah, I'm going.
if
I'm going.
Yeah, if it gets okay.
Believe it or not, Brotherhood of Brew made it to Cannes Film Festival.
No kidding.
Yes.
Awesome.
We didn't win anything, but we fucking made it. We won Los Angeles. We did the one award we won from there was or with Brotherhood of Brew was the Los Angeles Film Festival. We won Best New Pilot of 2019.
Sweet.
And then already with Rogue Element, we've won 2 film festivals with just the pilot or the preview.
Well, again,
Yeah.
your
I got
video,
the trophy. I just got
awesome.
notice actually this morning that the trophy's on the way.
Wow.
I was
How
like,
cool
holy
is that,
shit! Off
man?
of a 2-minute long that you can find on our Instagram. It's the preview. I think it's 2 minutes and 19 seconds or something. It's a preview of exactly what's going on in the first episode. It's like a hype piece that we did, and we threw it in a couple film festivals just to see how they do, because sometimes film festivals will have like a best new pilot preview.
Right.
Okay.
And we found like 4 of them, and we've made it into all of them and won 2 different categories in the one. So
Wow.
Very cool.
I was like, right on. That's a good sign for us. That's a good way to really get into this. But yeah, those are
yeah.
the best ways to find us. Support us on YouTube. Don't even talk shit to us. I don't care. It gives us something to do sometimes at one in the afternoon
You'll
on the
talk
shitter.
shit back.
Oh
so
yeah,
it's all
you're.
good.
You'll get it back.
Yeah, I always look forward to your feed in the morning because you always come up with some pretty funny stuff. There's about 3 people on IG that I know something crude is coming out of their IG, and you're one of them. So
I don't know if that's good or bad, but
No, that's good.
it's highly entertaining. Highly entertaining.
yeah, I talk shit. Speaking of, I need to go do the Snail Trail podcast. They've been asking me a couple times, and I'm the #1 hater of Toyota Tacomas and 4Runners.
Oh,
on the
perfect.
planet.
Oh,
Perfect.
I want to
That's
come out.
so
We
good.
love Jimmy and Tyler. They're the fucking greatest, even though Tyler doesn't share my shit because I'm not a fucking Toyota.
Oh yeah.
And we got so much cool bear wagons, power wagon shots of us airing up and down, but it's not a fucking Tacoma, so he doesn't post it up. But I'm coming for you. I know where you
Yeah.
motherfuckers
Yeah.
live.
You
See?
don't drink Fireball
See?
either, so
Right.
there you go.
So
That's
next
the
time,
other thing.
I actually, believe it or not, I have a decal that says Toyota on it, and we're going to put it on the back tailgate of underneath the Ram, and sending them the picture, morphlating it. And then we're going to do a video and be like, "Hey, look, we're out here in this Ram Tacoma,
Yeah,
and,
Ram Tacoma.
and using
That'd be
our
awesome.
using our morphlate."
That's awesome.
Because we want to get on Instagram fame, we want to be influencers. No, I'm just giving them shit. I love those guys. They've been nothing but good to us and the whole team.
Jimmy.
And we've been like you guys. We've been trying to get out there for
Yeah.
over a year, and it's just things haven't meshed
Oh,
up.
I know.
Life
been
gets in the
crazy.
way. Jeff, thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming.
Yeah,
guys.
great
coming
stuff,
down.
man.
Appreciate
So
it.
good rapping with you, and I have a feeling we're going to do this again. But
Yeah, we got to get you guys over on ours next time we're on the trail.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that'd be fun.
We like to
Thanks.
do ours mobile.
Yeah, well, we normally do too. As we do a mix.
Yeah,
We do a mix. Yeah.
Your camp ones are best because I can hear everybody talking shit in the background.
Oh, I know. There's
Yeah,
some
we have a
great
studio
stuff.
audience.
It is awesome.
Thank you for sharing some of your beers with us.
Yeah.
Always, dude.
bourbon,
Yeah.
bourbon
Always.
aged beers.
I have many I need to get through.
Freaking
So
awesome.
we'll do more.
All right. Well, with that, Chris, you got anything else?
And don't geotag. God damn it.
Oh,
Don't-
yeah, we didn't
right,
even
don't
get into that.
geotag.
So let me ask you this. Here we go. Now here's another 10
Oh,
minutes.
boy.
So, like, we were on the Fordyce Creek Trail. Is it okay to tag Fordyce Creek Trail that we're out there?
Well, here's the.
I mean,
here's some of those trails, because here's the issue you're going to get. You're going to get some dumb shit who just installed a fucking Warren winch on a Subaru that's going to try it.
Don't do that.
And you know as well as I do, you're going to be having to pull them out for however long it takes so you can enjoy the trail.
Uh-huh.
So I would say no.
Wow, okay.
Because that's some
Wow.
of the issues that you're getting. Now, you know, I go through this argument weekly, right?
Yeah.
And I've tried to peel myself back from it, but then there's always that one fucking idiot that, you know, does it. And most people are willing to listen. And my approach is always like, hey, man, can you really stop doing this? These are the negative benefits. And they're like, fuck you. And I'm like, oh, fuck me. And so then I unleash hell, right? But the biggest thing is we've seen it on trails. I talk to biologists a lot. I talk to forest rangers. I have friends that do it. When you're basically advertising a trail, you might as well make a fucking commercial and tell everybody about where it's at and all the cool things that's cool things that it has to offer and everything, and then fucking put it on every TV channel and Instagram and everything else. What happens is you get people who have no business being out there. Now it's public lands. We should all be enjoying it,
but they don't have the vehicle for it.
Not only do they have not the vehicle, they're putting themselves and others at risk, but they're fucking trashing it. And that's the biggest thing is trash. You got a lot of these people out there like Clean Desert Project, and you have, God, so many of them. I can't believe I'm just messing up on one of them, and I follow and we talk constantly, and they support the fuck out of Rogue Element. I'm having,
Oh boy.
we have Rocklander, and there's all these other guys that are on there, and they're going out and
Tread
picking
lightly
up,
and whatnot.
Yes, and they're picking up
yeah.
hundreds of thousands of pounds of trash a year off of these trails for free that we have to pay for. Otherwise, and there's trails that are getting closed because they're over, crowded. Look at what was that one trail up there where they had to helicopter people off because of fires, because there's too many people on the fucking trail. They couldn't leave. Luckily,
really?
I had a friend from high school that was there that morning, and they said it was so crowded that they didn't feel comfortable, so they left.
Oh, wow.
They would have fucking been burnt down.
Oh, no kidding.
And she's like, I posted the picture of people being life flighted out. Like they had those military helicopters lifting people out, and they left their rigs at that lake.
That time
that
about
was
Shaver Lake.
Yeah,
Shaver
that
Lake.
was,
Yeah,
that was
right.
up there. Yeah, in Fresno
Huntington
area.
Reservoir.
And you know what? Most of the people that were asked how they found it was Instagram.
Yeah.
And they were pulling
interesting.
fucking travel trailers up there, full-size travel trailers on these four-wheel drive trails.
Yeah.
And it's just, we pick up as much as we can. We were just up 2 weeks ago in a spot that we literally ran out of space in our rigs to be able to put anything.
Yeah.
And there was a dog bed. There was like kids' toys. There was like all this trash and cans left. There was a full meal that hadn't been eaten by animals yet that was in the fire pit. And it looks like they had fires.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, what the fuck, man? It's next to a creek.
We hear about this all the time. We see it all the time.
Geotagging supercharged that.
Yep. No,
And
for sure.
I get it. You want to fucking be an Instagram influencer. Get a fucking real job. OnlyFans is closing down anyway. So put your clothes back on. Go down and fucking apply for a job. But if you're geotagging, it's just not responsible. And I'm working with some outfits like Corva and some other ones to go to Congress and try to get these social media platforms to stop it, to just take it off completely. It can be good for businesses, and I get that spot, but for public lands, national forest, BLM, it should be illegal. I don't like big government. I don't like extra laws, any of that shit. But if it means preserving our public lands, I'm for it.
Sure.
And that's just one. I have a stop geotagging decal on every one of my vehicles.
Did you bring some for us?
I didn't. I have some on the way though.
Oh boy.
But I got some. I'll get you guys some hats too. So, but geotagging. I mean, I can't tell you. I've been in some big debates. I've been in mediations with my sponsors because I'm going after their biggest sponsors by saying, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt first. Said, hey, stop doing this. Your YouTube pages, you have actual fucking GPS coordinates in it. Stop that shit. I don't give a fuck if it's Moab. I don't care if it's Death Valley. If you're in there saying, hey, we're on Death Valley, or if we're doing this or whatever, that's fine. That's fine. But giving them an actual coordinate or geotagging the trail you're on and shit, half the fun of the adventure is finding the fucking place. Do you need everything fucking set up for you?
Yes.
And the argument is,
Yes, the
argument
young
is,
ones do.
well, I don't know where it is. Yeah, no shit, neither did I.
Yeah.
I fucking found it. Like all this last weekend where we went, half the places I went,
Sure.
I found because I just zoomed in on a map and there was no smoke there.
Right.
So I fucking went.
Yeah.
And we found the place, and it turned out to be some of the coolest fucking places we went.
Sure.
And I found that like feeling of accomplishment of being able to find the place and use the maps and use all these things, you know, that these tools that I have to be able to do that was a part of the adventure.
Okay.
And that should be like that for everybody.
I get it.
agree.
So yeah, I just wanted to understand you're very passionate about it. So I wanted to touch on that.
No, I didn't take my
before.
shirt off and take a fucking picture reaching up to the sky with my yoga pants on.
But definitely don't park in the water and get out and take
Don't do
pictures.
that.
on
Yeah,
the
don't do
waterfall.
that either.
If you got to cross water, do it quick. Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Don't park your shit up for Instagram.
Yeah.
100% agree. Absolutely,
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
agree.
I don't even like water crossing to begin with.
No, I
but-
don't either.
But if I have to get to the other side, it is what it is. I do my business, get the fuck out.
Right,
Yep.
right.
No,
Exactly.
you got to park and take pictures and gram
Set
it.
my fucking tent up.
Yeah.
Set your tent up. Yeah, exactly.
in
Fly
middle.
the drone where it's
Yeah.
not supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there you go.
All right.
All right. Well, good.
There's my rant.
I love it.
Well, that was a good
we had
rant.
to,
So
I had to get that crossed off my list.
I'm glad you did that. So anyway, back to closing business. Where was I? Oh, so if you want to give us a call and leave a voice message or leave Jeff a voice message, you can call us at 408-800-5169.
That's right.
And don't forget about the gram where Jason runs that show.
Yeah, and I'm not going to
be
be geotagging anymore.
definitely not.
Well, I do the main trails, but I don't. I'm very
You
cautious.
geotag King of the Hammers.
Yeah.
It's a business, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Just don't put the Johnson Valley.
Okay.
Just put
Okay.
KOH.
Okay.
Everybody can find KOA.
KOH Beer Garden.
The KOH Beer Garden. I
Jason,
haven't found that one yet.
Jesus, at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey at Instagram. And I don't know. You got anything else?
I think that's it, Chris. We got to put a bow on this thing.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
We're out.